drunk at the hilly. I can't PD and I can't find my willy. I'm just here for a little attention. Yeah, I got severe hypertension. So why you trying to get to know a Higgy better? Can't and whores, Bella's mom and 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗃. I don't know, I'll give it a go. ATF's big show, I ain't no hoe. I don't need a new man with the double D rack. Never mind, Higgy, your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? I'm not one of the girls trying to get locked down. Prince Higgy, baby, Jameson crown. I get down with the hilly low comp ticket. 16 whiskeys is how I kick it. And you get excited for a midnight snack. I already told you, your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. I like sleeping alone. This won't go all night. A little needy and strange. It's true love at first sight. I'm the real deal. I do what I gotta do. From the rip, my whole heart's for you. Your whole heart is not for me. Not a half, not a quarter, not a claw, not a read. You know what's the problem? You're trouble and you're hot. I'm big, thick neck daddy Higgy. He's not. I got a question, not to be rude. Are you queer? Cause you keep calling me dude. Are you glad that you had walked me out? No self-doubt and you didn't cop out. No last words, I'll just mutter abide. Don't diss the caterpillar and sweat the butterfly. All of them girls must have got you gas. And when they see a good thing, they don't triple bypass. Well, for this town, that's right on track. Cause for me, your game's too whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. What am I? Another pretty face getting you a drink from my military base? All I gotta know is why did you use me? You talking? Psh, excuse me. We can't have nothing. You wear depends. Well, if we ain't getting married, then we can't be friends. Well, then I guess it's nothing. Well, hey, I think you're puffing. Well, pass that weed. I won't weed whack nothing. You better catch a flashback. Remember, you ain't tapping it. You ain't my style, and I'm not having it. All I remember from that late night kiss is I'm more the mister, you're more the miss. Well, look, I treat you good. Treat yourself better. And I always come along. Write her a love letter. I greet you every day with a martini at the door. You won't last a year, you're overgrown bed sore. Well, I'm known in this town, and there, that's a piss. I got no one to blame but myself and Melissa. You didn't answer me, Karen. Am I a good kisser? Don't remember, had a lot of Hennessy. A lot of girls out there that won't say no. The ones you take to your crib with 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗆. Boom, now all my feelings is getting fatter. All I wanna do is drink booze and eat food. Tell you nice shit like chillax, dude. So when there's nothing in the fridge but a natty, just call Big Face Higgy Daddy. You want VSOP? Just ask when. Don't take a 12-step, jump off the wagon. All the confusion, you know I'll solve them. Your game is whack. My game is what? How long you had that problem? What's a whack about his weed? Your game is whack. I ain't trying to.
My name's Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtleboy.
He is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I know
you do. People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never gonna stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. piece. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, people? How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Give me 1 second. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your fearless host. My name is Aidan Kearney. You can call me a variety of names if you'd like. You can call me Uncle Turtle Boy. I prefer doctor. It's my preferred pronoun. Please respect my pronouns. You can call me daddy, which I can understand can be weird for some people, but a nice lady today just yelled at me. She's like, "Hey, daddy." And we took some pictures together and it was lovely. So I met a whole lot of really cool people today outside of Dedham Superior Court and Dedham District Court for my trial and the Kearney retrial, which unfortunately are going on at the exact same time. Like, it's fucking crazy the way this all lined up, and we could talk about that later. But yeah, you can call me Timothy Kearney. That's my true crime name. Journalism Jesus. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. and make sure you smash that subscribe button. I know it's not a Tuesday right now. It's a Wednesday. But, you know, it's just because of this trial. We do it every day during the trial. And it's ending soon. It's going to have a sweet ending. And I have predictions coming on that soon. So we're excited. And yeah, make sure you smash that subscribe button. How many subscribers are we up to now? Let's see what we got. Hold on. My friend 𝗵𝗂𝗺𝗏 is going on. She's like, I'm going on Court TV at 3:30 this time with Rick Grundy. I was on with him last week and it was something. Did these dudes make a living doing this? No, I think none of them actually work at all. Like the Court TV lawyers, like none of them actually work. But anyway, yeah, what are we up to for subs right now? Let's see. But Rebecca's very smart. She's very good. And she's a really good, I like when good, smart people are the voices for the free Kearney movement on Court TV. Even though Court TV is an absolute joke, because, like, I mean, John DePietro's on there regularly. You might as well put Grant on. That's how much of a joke it is. But anyway, we got a good show tonight. Like I said, I was down there today. My court case is still ongoing, unfortunately. We dealing with Robert Cosgrove is something. Okay. And for those of you in the courtroom today who witnessed that today, the spectacle in there today, like, I promised my lawyer I wouldn't talk about the case until it's over, the trial till it's over, and I'm not. But I can say that he is so slow. Oh my God, he's so slow. I don't know how the hell he's planning on doing like the witness intimidation case, but the dude was so slow. And if you think Jennifer McCabe is a difficult witness, wait till you see the fake victim. Just wait till you see it. You got to see it. You got to see the lie. Like the whole courtroom burst out laughing at one point today. That's all I'll say about what happened in court today. The whole courtroom burst out laughing. There's probably like 50 people in there. When Bradel asked her, like, so Kate Peter, this person, Kate Peter, she doesn't like Mr. Kearney, right? She hates him, right? And she's like, I don't know. That was her answer. I don't know. You don't. The whole purpose of reaching out to her and befriending her in the first place is because you know she hates him. That's like her entire identity involves around it. So anyway, and then we read we read Canton Cover Up part. I'll do this real quick. Canton Cover Up part 299. All right. Let me show you this real quick. So this was, we spent an hour going through this blog. And first of all, like, to share this with the court, for the judge to see, the title is Can't Cover Up Part 299. McAlberts used fake domestic violence victim Lindsay Gattani as human shield to evict award-winning journalist from Karen Reed hearing. I mean, how does that look to the judge? And then we went through each picture one by one, and she described who was in the picture. Every single picture, she had to describe. Okay, that's Jennifer McCabe, that's Matt McCabe, that's Chris Albert. And then we played a video of Grant walking them into court together. Everyone knows Grant's voice. She knows it better than anyone. Grant was with her. Grant filmed the whole thing. You see Grant taking a picture there? Or Grant was with them the whole time, filming as they walked in. She knew it was him. Everybody knew it was him. And he kept saying, say something stupid. Say something stupid. And Tim Bradel was like, so who was that? Whose voice is that? And she said, I don't know. She doesn't know whose voice that was. It was fucking insane today. So, like, we had two cops that were witnesses. Wait do you see Colin McCabe? You guys don't know about Colin McCabe. You remember last year, I think it was July 22nd, outside of the Karen Reed hearing, all the blue shirts showed up for the first time. And there was, like, right in the front, there was this, like, fat, aggressive dude who was, like, had to be held back and shit. That's Colin McCabe. There is a Colin McCabe. I know, not Colin Albert and not Matt McCabe. A combination of the two. There's like, if Matt McCabe and Colin Albert had a love child, it would be Colin McCabe. Okay. And he is something else. I got accused of humping him at the end there. The audio is wild. That's all. The audio is wild. And we ran out of time. Now, I've had it filmed the last 2 days, right? The pool camera is not available because everybody wants to go to the real trial across the street. If this was like a month later, this might have coverage. But, like, so yesterday on Monday, I had the documentary crew that's doing the doc on me. They filmed it Monday, but they like to hold on to stuff for, like, exclusive footage, right? And then Wednesday today, I just paid Law and Crime $500 to do it. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just pay for it. So, because I'm like, I can't not have this film. This is too good. And now I got to pay it again tomorrow, and that's fine. Because whatever, I'll make it up with Donos. We'll get it done. But Jess Machado was live tweeting it, but you got to see the video. It's just, being in court is a trip. And so the only witness left is Colin McCabe on cross-examination. So Tim Bradel gets a bite at the apple with that tomorrow, and then the defense begins. And we have on our witness list, Meredith is going first because she was right next to me when I got up and left court and walked out of court. And then we got a woman by the name of Jill Dandum or Dadnam. I always get it wrong. She witnessed something that she's going to talk about inside the courtroom between them. And then there are after that is Paul O'Keefe is our third witness. So Paul O'Keefe will be testifying third tomorrow. And she testified today that she was invited by Paul O'Keefe and the O'Keefe family. But she said she didn't talk to Paul, that it was through Kate Peter, that Kate Peter invited her through them. So whatever that means. So we'll find out. So Paul wants to come in, and you got to hear the audio about what she said, that the O'Keefe family wanted her there. So in case you're inclined to ever feel any sort of sympathy for the O'Keefes, not that, I mean, they could be making this up too, but they sought out the fake victim and invited her not to the January 5th hearing. There's a hearing on January 5th, 2024, January 18th, 2024. They didn't invite her to those. They invited her to the February 26th, 2024 one, because that's the day that guy I got out of jail 3 days after that. So, yeah. It's like, so he's going to go tomorrow. And then we will have, I believe I have 1, 2. I have a woman named Lisa, a woman named Lauren, Jack, all with civilian witnesses who witnessed this whole thing. So that's 3, 6, and then me. I think I'm the last one. The cops were our witnesses, but I, you know, whatever. So I definitely want to testify. We'll see if I'm going to testify. Fuck, I want to testify. I want to tell. Like, I'm so sick of this. I have to tell the truth, but I don't know. You know, so I have no comment about how things are going or anything like that. I have no comment on any of that. How I feel about it. We will just wait. So this is turned into a 3-day trial. Luckily, tomorrow, the Kearney case has no court tomorrow. So the timing actually worked out. So I'm not, if I missed fucking closing statements because of that shit, I swear to God, I've already lost enough of my life to the fake victim, and she's taken up enough of my time. Okay. And enough of the bullshit. So, oh, and by this, the highlight of the day, I mean, I won't even talk about it, but the babysitter situation was wild. Twisted tragedies. It's just wild. Anyway. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, Erica was there. She awesome. And you know who else was there today? Was the juror number 3. And she's going to be my guest tonight. I'm going to be bringing her on shortly. I mean, and so how it's going to work tonight, I am gonna, with Turtle Chats, if you want to have your messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, and you can pay whatever you want and write me a little message. Okay. And if that, you know, Jess told the story in LTL, so Jess was there for the whole thing. Or you can cash at me at $𝗺 and we can do it that way. All right. And I'll read your message out loud to the class. However, I'm going to save the Turtle Chats for the end. I don't like interrupting my broadcast with guests to read Turtle Chats and like, oh, look at all this money I'm making. You know what I mean? I don't like that. So I will save that for the end. The grifting will come at the end. All right. So I'm going to have my guest on momentarily. And so this juror was a juror who in the first trial was one of the alternates. She's one of the alternates. And she firmly believes in Karen Read's innocence. I am not here tonight to talk about the circumstances that led to her not being a deliberating juror. We've already talked about those. Okay. And so I'm not getting into that. I don't want to go there tonight. That's not what I'm here to talk to her about. What I'm here to talk to her about tonight is her take on the first trial and then compare and contrast with the second trial and what she thinks about that. This juror 1000% believes in Karen Read's innocence. She was not a Karen Read person before any of this. She didn't follow the case. Her introduction to this was being a juror and sitting there and witnessing this whole thing. And and afterwards, you know, now she proudly tells people that now she proudly proclaims that she believes in Karen Read's innocence. Okay. She's very good. All right. She's very good. Now she's not camming up. And that's 100% understandable considering the state of the world that we're living in today. Maybe she'll change her mind halfway. Who knows? Right. But she's got really good insight. I've had a lot of conversations with her over the past. She was actually there today in court. She was in the Dedham District Court today. She was one of the people that had a seat in there. So, and it was cool to see her. That was the first time I ever met her in person. But yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. So the defense hasn't officially rested. It's like a weird thing, like they're resting but not resting. They have no more witnesses. But tomorrow they are having, again, I have like not watched most of what happened today. I've been catching up. I watched goddamn Lawyer, and I watched Nurse Kim. So I've been catching up on my way home. And yeah, we'll see. We got a lot to talk about, but what else is I going to say? One more thing. Oh yeah. So tomorrow. So my trial's tomorrow, 11 to 4. Anyone can come. It's open to the public. It will have Long Crime streaming it again, or videotaping again. And then at the end, I'm just going to share the whole thing in one gigantic stream. Okay. One gigantic stream. I'm going to post the whole trial. All right. And hopefully it ends tomorrow. But so tomorrow, in Kearney, they're having a pretrial conference because Jackson is doing the closing, like we all knew he would and should. And he wants to have a PowerPoint in which he has some stuff in there that he wants Auntie Bev to decide whether or not he can talk about. And apparently if she doesn't rule his way, I don't know what that means. They're still doing closing on Friday either way. So it's not like they're going to have a chance to call more witnesses either way. So we're done. We're done. And quite frankly, I'm good, man. It's time to fuck. It's time to take 12 jurors and just put them in a room and fuck until we come out of there with a not guilty verdict. And that needs to happen. And that can happen on Friday. Okay. This could all be over on Friday. This should be over on Friday. All right. There is no rebuttal. All that pre-trial, all that talk about, I want to file a motion to have my ability to rebut based on this report, blah, blah, blah. It was all a waste of time. He didn't bring it even back because he's losing, because he's a cop. His case it's over. This thing is fucking over. Again, I don't want to jinx it. Blah, blah, blah. No fucking way. Be sane. We're all too scarred from the last trial. We're all too scarred from Ronnie and them. All right. It's not this. This is a better jury. No offense to my next guest. This is a better jury. This is and they're going to acquit her. They are going to acquit Karen Reed. And I think they're going to do it quickly because this is over, man. Over. They got nothing. Everything was amazing this trial with the defense witnesses. In a week or so, they put on the most amazing, strongest case with some of the best witnesses you will ever see. Ever. Strongest witnesses. ARCA was stronger than they were last time. I didn't know that was possible, but like they were 10 times better. They had to be because they got these aperture guys who want to fuck around with science and pretend like they know science. They've been challenged. And 𝗲𝗵𝗏 she was the ringer, man. She was the Mariano Rivera that they just came in there, punched him fucking away. And there was nothing Spanky could do about it. And then Rentschler came in today, and he was the John Wetland. He just came in there and they smacked him around some more. And that's the end of it. So Friday, I want Friday to be the day. Wouldn't that be something? It starts on April 1st, April Fools, and ends on Friday the 13th, baby. Let's do it. Let's acquit this woman on Friday. Give us 12 good jurors. No shenanigans. She's going to give them 75 minutes this time instead of an hour to do their closing statements. And then we fuck. And then we get not guilty. And get it over with before the weekend. That's what I say. Get it over with and we'll have a great time. I won the media lottery next week. For the first time in 7 weeks, I won. In a week where there's no... I don't even know what I'm going to do with that spot. But, I suppose deliberations could go into it. So get your ass to Dedham. Friday in Dedham, I want to see 1,000 people there. There was hundreds of people there today. Hundreds of people. Tomorrow, same shit. Friday, over 1,000 people. Let's do it. Rita's back. The whole band is getting back together. Everyone's back. And wouldn't that be the perfect Father's Day gift for Bill Reed? Would this not be the greatest Father's Day gift ever? There's something magical that's going to happen here, man. Good must defeat evil. And that is what this trial is. This is a matchup between good and evil, and good must prevail. It simply must prevail. So, okay. So again, if you want your turtle chats read, click at the link at the top and I will get to them at the end of the award-winning program. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest now, juror number 3. That's what we're going to call her. All right. Hello. Is this juror number 3?
Hi.
How are you?
I thought I was your favorite juror. Why did you say that this group is better? I don't get it.
Well, your jury didn't acquit Karen Reed. So, you know,
well, that's, yeah.
I know it's not your fault, but yeah. So I commented a lot when I watched you. We looked at each other for like 10 weeks there.
Yeah.
In 2024, we stared at each other, and I made a lot of comments about you on my Twitter account about your behavior because it was really, I don't know what the right word is, obvious. It was really like, you know, I knew what you were thinking, which is ultimately why I think you were ultimately removed, is because I knew what you were thinking. And so what were your tell me your thoughts on the first trial as a juror. What was that like?
There's so many that it's so hard to actually put them into like a coherent sentence. I mean, sitting there for how many weeks? 10, was it?
Yeah, it was 31 days, just like this trial was 31 days.
Well, it felt like it was like 3 months though, with all the breaks and the days off.
Yes,
and,
there was,
you know, the full days that we had to have.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, it was just kind of wild to sit there and listen day after day and just have to come back the next day because I'm like, why am I here? Like, why are any of us here?
Is it true that you wrote in your notebook something like they're all liars? Did you write anything like that in your notebook?
So yes, I don't remember what my exact words were, but as I was going through and like writing notes about people, I would write whether I believed them or not. So like telling the truth, liar. Yeah.
And so who looked at the notebooks every night? Do you have any idea who actually looked at those notebooks? Do you think anyone in the DA's office looked at those notebooks? Anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of speculation. Do I know for sure anything? No. Did I ever pay attention to the placement of my notebook? No.
Mm-hmm.
Did I think at that time it was a problem that anyone would read my note? No.
So you made visible faces, particularly during Michael Proctor's testimony. Like
so I've heard.
You couldn't, you just looked disgusted.
I wish someone had videotaped me. I would have loved to see it back.
Well, maybe John DePietro did. I don't know. He seems to be doing some shady shit there. But, you know, you were making faces that you just couldn't hold it in. You were 2 seats away from where he was sitting, and you just looked 3 seats. Right. Yeah. And you just looked disgusted by him. Like, I remember you like opening your mouth, like, oh my God, like putting your head back, like, oh my God. And so did Victoria George, who is sitting directly behind you. Yeah. And you guys, it seemed like you guys became like friends during the trial. Like you guys were talking, and I assume not about the trial, right?
At that time, no.
Yeah. But you could tell you were on the same page, right?
We didn't know until after the fact. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think that you know, but you know, clearly I was wrong about a lot of other people. So
yeah,
you never really know until it all kind of shakes out.
Yeah.
But we know. I mean, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
But we know after now.
So the jury, when you were deliberating, or you not deliberating, so you didn't deliberate with them, but when you were going there every day, I mean, it looked like a smart jury. I said a million times, I thought that they were going to acquit her very quickly. I didn't think Ryan Piotrowski was a problem. I thought that like those 2 guys in the front row, the Asian guy and the engineer, John there, who was also an older guy, both of them had PhDs. They looked smart. And I'm like, those guys are not guilty all the way. As it turns out, all 3 of those men were guilty voters. Does that surprise you that the people that you surrounded yourself with for over 2 months could be this stupid?
So, I mean, I think I said this from day one of like the mistrial, that people were either going to believe in the conspiracy and believe that all of this shit was just crazy, or you were not going to believe it. And if you didn't, technically the evidence was there, right? I mean, the taillight was on the ground, right? The taillight is broken.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you didn't believe in all of the other crap that they brought in that was so unbelievably crazy that I don't know, like, how you could take anybody seriously as they were talking. But if you truly tuned that out, I don't want to use the word distractors because I don't want to get yelled at. But if you truly tuned all that out, then yeah, technically, I guess it was there. And that was, you know, how people were so stupid because they don't like see reality of the world, I guess. I don't know. I mean, does that, I don't know if that.
I just don't understand how anyone could listen. Your reactions to Trooper Paul were the other ones but that's the one I don't understand. Okay, Proctor or whatever, but like to vote guilty for manslaughter, these people had to believe the word of Trooper Paul over the ARCA experts. Like, how could any smart person reach that conclusion that Trooper Paul is more qualified than them?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not a smart person because I thought he was a clown, and he was the entertainment of the day. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
What did you think of Alan Jackson and Adam Lally?
I don't care about the weather. I don't care about table setups. I don't care about drink counting. I was done with it by like day 3, and it went on for 32 more days or however many. Mm-hmm. He just, you know, it just was difficult to stay focused and to listen because it was just like dun 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 dun. And I mean, I think every time AJ got up, he just dominates a room, right? I mean, he's got a personality. He just dominates the room, right? So, I mean, it's just very easy to listen to him, and it's very it's very easy to be interested in what he's saying because he's charismatic. He's just that type of person that you listen to, you know? Yeah. You're like, oh, all right, what are you going to say next?
Now, have you reached out to the defense at all? Can you comment on that?
I have spoken to them, yes.
What did you guys talk about?
That I'm not going to say, but I have spoken to them, and I've given them my opinions on a few things.
On jury selection or on strategy, on things that worked well and things that didn't work well?
A little bit of all of it.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So you messaged me like this kind of doom and gloom message maybe 2 weeks ago. Can I read it?
Which one is it?
About your thoughts. The one where you were like worried.
Oh, yeah.
About how things.
Oh, the one when I ruined your day and your week. Yeah.
Did I say that?
But I know.
Yeah. Well, it was a real downer. It was like, okay. Let's see.
Oh, it was right after.
This is May 29th.
Welcher.
You sent me this. You said, unpopular opinion, but I watched as me, the juror, who knows nothing about what I see in court. Welcher came across as credible, knowledgeable, and that he was trying to answer 𝗍𝗄𝐿𝐶𝐵's questions as best he could. He seemed that he really wanted to give complete answers, but the questions were narrow and he couldn't give an expert opinion based on the question's lack of substance. 𝗍𝗄𝐿𝐶𝐵 came off as argumentative, and I would have been very frustrated sitting there for 1.5 days listening to him and trying to follow his questions. The clips were bad, especially the last one. This is why a jury should scare the fuck out of everyone. And I said, you think so? And you said, I wouldn't be as solid at this point like I was last time. I think I'd probably be leaning Commonwealth, which is bullshit. So,
yep.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. So this is a completely different trial, right?
Yeah.
Now, a lot's changed since May 29th, okay?
Yeah.
So like she has put on a defense since then, and it has been an outstanding defense, but this was like right after Welcher's testimony, and you know, there was no Proctor, no Higgins, none of the usual stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because I think you said in a later message to me, you said I wouldn't
Didn't I set these on auto delete? No. All right, I gotta update
we used
that.
to have it. Yeah, but basically you said to me at one point that that what sold it for you were the McAlberts. Like how we're saying they're not doing the McAlberts and Proctor this time. And you were like, but that's what sold me. Do you?
Oh, yes.
That's what sold you last time, the McAlberts and Proctor?
Yep. 100%.
How come?
I mean, because how many times can you butt dial somebody in a night? How many times can you, throw your phone away at an army base, SIM card in one dumpster, phone in another? I mean, just the whole thing. How do you not get out of bed when there's 43 fire trucks and people screaming on your lawn? How does your dog not bark? I mean, none of it made any sense. And it was just to the point, it was so ridiculous. Like, why do you drop donuts off in a blizzard? Right? None of that makes any sense. It was all so ridiculous.
Right.
That by the time we got to, all of the other stuff, I was just kind of like, I can't even take any of this seriously at this point. There was two people that could have changed my mind. It would have been medical examiner and Trooper Paul. And 𝗺cie said, it's not consistent with being hit by a car, the injuries, and Trooper Paul did pirouettes. So, there we go. It's a very different trial this time, though. There is none of that nonsense that you're just sitting there like, this is a friggin' circus.
Well, it's a very calculated risk, and it sucks that they have to make this choice. They have to make the choice between, do we go the McAlbert route and, which is the conspiracy route, and tell this sexy story that has ultimately gotten the attention that got us here in the first place, right? Because that's the really interesting part about this. That's the Hollywood part about it, is that these people framed someone for murder and they're all lying and they're all pieces of shit, and it's like a fucking movie, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with movies aren't real. And so like people have a tough time believing that. And now you believed something was up with these people, but like for others, that was a tougher sell. So this time the defense has gone with a different strategy, and that is focusing. There was no collision. That's all this defense is in, just a few words. There was no collision, and everything else after that, they're not even getting into. What now? You sent this message 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Do you still feel that way?
No, not even close. The defense, the witnesses they put on, they basically just brought person after person after person that unequivocally said there was no collision. So what I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what trial strategy is. And what's going to hit for everybody. Right. But not having all of that other stuff, I think is probably the smarter way to go now. Right. Because that stuff was not really taken into consideration, it sounds like, last time around. So I think it's more solid this time of the reasonable doubt. And it's just up the middle, right? It's like there was no collision, full stop. We're not going to bring in anything else, but that's what we're going to prove to you. And they've done that, witness after witness after witness.
So when you said that to me, you were saying that out of like concern and worry, right?
Yes.
Like a worried parent, like that.
Yes.
Because you even said, you're like, I'm thinking about calling Karen and telling her this.
I was very much
like, no,
considering calling her.
And I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Because, and I think you spoke for a lot of people when you said that, when I read that, because part of me was feeling that. Like, I didn't, think, I'm like, oh no, because there's no do-overs if this doesn't go the right way. If this ends in conviction, which I don't even hate saying that, but like, if it did, you don't get to do it over. So you have to get it right the first time. You have to. And you're like, oh, it is such a gamble. It is such a gamble not calling these people.
Yeah. And I've been trying to like watch this, and admittedly, I've not watched every testimony beginning to end, because it turns out when the Commonwealth is not paying me $50 a day to be there, I don't have as much time as I did the first time. But I was trying to watch it from like a juror eyes. I was trying to put myself back in that chair and being like, I don't know other than what they're telling me. Right. And that's where I started getting concerned, because the things that, and I can see, what's going on Twitter and all the things that we all are focusing on about, man Shannon lied on his resume or whatever. Right. But those aren't the things that like will likely stick with the jury at the end. Those will be the things that it's like, yeah, okay, the guy's a loser, but maybe he just didn't want to admit that he didn't have his degree. So, but he has 15 years of experience. I'm making this up. I don't remember how much, but like, so he could still be credible, right? So that's how I was trying to look at it as a juror without having all of the stuff beforehand, if that makes sense. And that's where I started getting worried and nervous, honestly, because I mean, it's a very different case. I think the defense has a stronger case this time, but I think the Commonwealth showed less of the shenanigans, I guess. I don't know what else to call it, and more of the clips, the this, the that. Like I don't know if people are picking up on the FBI. I'm telling you, I would not.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you had no idea about the FBI, despite the couple, but it's right. Ryan Nagel actually saying FBI, and you had no idea what this other. What did you think all these other hearings were that they kept talking about, and other law? No clue.
I had absolutely no clue. I thought it was like I don't know, like a meeting last week. I had no idea.
Yeah, because
it never occurred to me that I mean, I guess I just figured it was like a grand jury from like a week before. I had no clue, like none.
I'm with you.
But I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about the legal system, so I have no idea.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and even I said this before, and I'm like, even if this jury does know the FBI was involved, I don't think they understand the gravity of what that means. I think they'll like. A lot of some people get charged in federal court and in state court. For all they know, the FBI was investigating Karen Reed. Like if you mention, oh, the FBI is involved, it's like the FBI hired me to investigate Karen Reed. Like to, you know what I mean? Like, so like, or to who the fuck, nobody would ever guess that like they're investigating the investigation itself. Like that's fucking crazy world.
I would have never picked that up. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
But Hank played it off.
I missed the slip of the FBI, and honestly, I think if I had heard it, I don't know that I would have put two and two together and connected it. I really don't think I would have.
You know, I didn't think the trial was actually going to fucking happen. The first trial, I'm like, after the 𝗃𝗏 report came out and all this FBI stuff came out, I still can't believe that after getting that 3,000-page report, which was what was in that report. All the text messages, right? The butt dials, the destruction of the cell phones, right? The Proctor texts, and of course the ARCA report was all in there. And any ethical prosecutor looks at that and they're like, whoa, let's hold on here. Let's reevaluate. Let's take a deep breath. Do we really want to go forward with this? Is this ethical to go forward with this? But like, like 𝗏𝗏𝗺 always says, it's just like, well, time to make the donuts, like back to work tomorrow. It's like nothing happened at all. They just went right forward and they're like, you know what? We got the judge, we got the judge. We're good. Like, we don't have to worry about like this trial is going to be in favor of, let's talk about that. Actually, what did you think of Auntie Bev as a juror?
So again, at the time, I knew nothing but what I saw. She seemed like she was kind to us, right? I mean, like in the sense that she would like give us breaks if we had to pee. I mean, literally, these are like bottom bare minimum things looking back, right? But at the time, I was no smarter to know anything else, right? I mean, I would notice when she'd be like, I'll let them have it. That would drive me crazy when someone would object. And I never knew what the objections were about. I had no clue. I was like, was that mean? Or I don't know.
Do you wish you knew? Do you wish you knew? Would that have helped?
I don't know. Because even if I did know, I don't know that I would have known what it meant.
Okay.
I mean.
Why didn't you like the I'll allow it? What bothered you about that?
Because when the defense would object, so if it was this way. So hold on, let me just think for a second. So it was when the defense was crossing, and when Lally would object, and she'd say, "I'll let them have this one." Drove me crazy. Like, why are you letting them have it? Like, either it's fair and proper, or it's not. So, I didn't love that.
It kind of sounds like she's doing them a favor. Like, allow it. It's like, no, you're not allowing it. You have to. Like, it's the rule. Like, that's what's just is. They're right. That's another way of saying they're right. so I will allow it. Like, you're not allowing it. The law is allowing it, isn't it?
Yeah. So the way she would say it is like, I'll let them have this one. Seemed like she was doing them a favor. That's exactly how I would say it. And I did not say it that way.
Like, it was almost like begrudgingly. Yeah, allow it.
Like, I'll throw them a bone on this one.
Yeah, right.
I'll I won't let them have the next three. But
did she seem biased towards the prosecution as a juror?
She seemed biased towards the defense.
Towards the defense? Like, you mean against the defense?
Yeah, no. Sorry. Yes, I'm mixing them up. Sorry.
Right.
It's been a long day. She seemed like she was it seemed like she was with the Commonwealth and against the defense.
Right. Okay. So you picked up on that as a juror, that seemed like she was giving them hometown calls and hometown cooking.
I mean, in some places, yes. In some places, no. Because some places it was just so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
With the, I'll let them have it and stuff like that.
Now, do you think
I'm trying to think back at the same time too. So, I mean, I might not be saying all of this the totally right way.
What was that like to be, I mean, every day? So you would go, she warns them every day not to go watch their social media use. I'm sorry. If you have social media, then you're consuming Karen Read content. It's impossible not to. Did you go on social media as a juror, and how could you possibly avoid Karen Read content when you would go on social media?
I went on TikTok, and all it was Taylor Swift, because
not anymore. TikTok, Karen Read owns TikTok now.
Well, at the time, it was during the Eras tour, so it was just all Taylor. So, and I'm, it's when she added the tortured poets to the set and everything. So that was my TikTok.
But you would like, you're on Twitter now.
I am.
Karen Read was impossible to miss on Twitter. So you weren't on Twitter at the time?
No, I've never used Twitter. I think I had an account from like 10 years ago that I had to reset the password 6 times.
Now, what about Facebook? Did you go on Facebook, and was it like there's a lot of Karen Read? I don't even like
Facebook now, so no, not really.
All right. So you didn't have a problem avoiding Karen Read content when you would go home every day?
No.
Okay.
No.
So where would you guys, like, the bus every day? Like, what? So what time? It had to be fucking early. Where you guys met somewhere and got on a school bus every day, and parked your cars there, and it would just drive you in?
Well, it was like a fancy school bus, but yeah, I mean, that was the gist of it.
Okay. And did you guys become friendly with each other? I mean, there's 17 you at first. Did you like them? Dislike them? I
mean, you don't love everybody that you have to talk to every day. It's like going to work. They're not all your friends, but you tolerate them, right? So
yeah. Speaking of, juror number 5 was eliminated on. She was actually accidentally picked up on camera. That was the day that Jessica Hyde testified, and she had to be on Zoom for that. And she was eliminated. I believe you had something to do with that, didn't you? I mean, did you report her, or were you one of the people that was called up about that?
Yes.
So did she say something to you inappropriate?
There was a comment that was made. Yes.
Are you able to say what that comment was now, or no?
I mean, I'd rather not, because, why drudge up? It wasn't just me, and it wasn't just me who had to go in and talk. So,
okay. So a couple other jurors also heard this comment.
I don't remember if they heard it, but I know that I was not the only one that talked to the judge. So I guess let's just leave it at that, because I don't want to speak for anybody else or say anything that had anything to do with anybody else.
Okay. Because I think it did have, it was in the motion to dismiss, wasn't it? This whole thing, or am I dreaming?
I'm going to be very honest. I never read that, because I was far more hot and bothered that, it was out in open court.
So
talking about me. So,
well, she was respectful enough not to say your name, at least. So that was good. But,
yeah, for like 5 minutes, but
yeah. So, let's talk about that. Have you received any sort of threatening emails from anyone, any YouTube content creators?
In general or recently?
In general.
Yes.
Really? Okay. Care to say who they are?
My lawyer has advised me not to.
Okay, not to talk about the threatening emails you received. Okay, so because that's interesting because Ryan Piotrowski, immediately as soon as the trial ended, he cried victim, and he said that, oh, Turtleboy is going to dox me. Or I don't even know what he said. It ended up, ironically, it ended up being Kevin Lenahan from Plevin from Yellow Cottage Fails, who ended up doxing Ryan Piotrowski first before anyone. And he lied in his, and this is interesting because it involves you, because he said that during deliberations, they could hear Kearney supporters outside every day cheering loudly. And that was used to extend the buffer zone like 400 feet or some shit like that. And then you provided an affidavit for Mark Rendaz's lawsuit that ultimately got the buffer zone fixed, didn't you?
I did, yes.
And what was inaccurate about what Ryan said in his affidavit?
Oh, I'd have to pull mine up and look at compare the two. I don't remember specifically.
Well, for one, is it true?
I'm guessing you know though. So
is it true? Is it true that jurors could hear Karen Reed supporters during the breaks and whatnot?
I think that we could hear things from time to time, but it was no more than like normal noise, right? I mean, it was nothing that it was like crazy. No.
So you didn't hear Free Karen Reed or anything like that coming, people chanting that?
No, I never heard chants. I never saw signs. Nobody ever like came near the bus or the back door when we were going in and out. Everybody was very respectful, which is what I put in the affidavit.
Let's talk about how jurors were chosen. So you were picked on the second day, I believe, right?
Oh God, is this a quiz? I don't know.
How do I know more about you than you?
Because I don't know. I guess maybe I blocked some of it out.
So I thought that's what you told me.
Was it the second day?
I thought you told me it was the second day you were picked. And so
I don't remember now.
All right. Well, do you remember what you were asked when you were brought up in during jury deliberations? You filled out your form and then they brought you up and they asked all the jurors, the Lally is standing there with the defense attorneys and the judge. And what did you guys talk about?
I'm trying to remember. They asked me about the news and watching the news. And I said, I watch the news to get the weather. And then Bev said, well, can you get the news from somewhere else? And I said, I suppose I could ask somebody. She said, or you could just look out the window. And I said, I suppose I could do that too.
They asked you if you watched the news?
Yeah.
And they don't want you watching the news. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. What else they ask? Did they ask if you had family and law enforcement or anything like that? Or
that was on the questionnaire, yes.
And do you?
No.
Okay. And did they ask you like if you blindly if you trust police or anything like that? How'd you respond to that?
Yeah. So actually, I looked at this questionnaire not that long ago. I think I said, no, I don't blindly trust the police. I mean, and the question that I got at sidebar that the day I got picked, I mean, I know the question and I know the reason. I know they sent me away 3 times and then brought me back and kept asking me questions. They did ask me about TikTok. So I did tell Lally about my Taylor Swift TikTok.
Okay.
I don't think he cared, but no, the question they asked me was, are you more likely to believe a police officer just because, or a law enforcement just because of their job, right? And my answer was, a person's profession does not define their character. So no.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of what ended me up in there.
But yeah, so why do you think Karen Reed picked you? I mean, there was hundreds of people they went through. What do you think she liked about your answers? Wait,
she picked me?
Yeah, I mean, Karen's extremely involved in her defense, like for a defendant. I mean, ultimately her attorneys did, but they don't do anything without her, approval.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know who actually picked me or if I was just because they didn't want to waste an exclusion, to be honest.
They didn't want, okay. So you get picked and you go through this whole whatever day, you know, how you're there for months. And then you become an alternate. How pissed were you?
Well, I mean, it wasn't an alternate. I got dismissed.
Okay. So you dismissed, you didn't get to deliberate.
Correct.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed were you?
30.
30. Okay. Why? Tell me your thoughts. Well, how are you feeling after you got dismissed? Like, what was it like driving home that day after you just wasted 3 months of your life dedicated to this bullshit? And now you are going home on the final fucking day. What does that feel like?
Well, I was mad. I mean, I was mad.
Anything else?
I mean, no, that day I was just mad.
Okay.
I was just mad that day.
You were just mad. Who were you mad at?
I mean,
were you mad at Auntie Bev? Because she kind of, like, your transcript with her has been entered into your whole conversation. And you sounded like a deer in the headlights when I read that whole back and forth between the two of you. And she was like asking you if you were drinking at a bar 6 weeks ago or something like that. And you're like, I don't know. Like, you're allowed to drink at a bar. Last time I heard, you're allowed to do stuff like that. And she's like asking you to remember shit that you did 6 weeks ago. Meanwhile, the witnesses that you just sat through, none of them remember anything that fucking happened 2 days ago. And you're supposed to remember, 6 weeks ago, allegedly, like you're out at the bar and you're like, what was I saying? Like, you never said anything bad. You never talked about the case openly, did you?
No.
Yeah. And so you felt like there was no reason to remove you as a juror at all?
No.
Okay. And everybody always asks this, and I know the answer already, but did you have any interactions with John Fanning?
No.
Okay. Because a lot of people are like, think that John Fanning was like on the bus or some shit. John Fanning is just a guy that fucking somehow is in charge of security and involved himself in this somehow. I don't even know how the fuck he got involved, but he just did. But next question I want to ask you.
I was going to say, I can't say anything more than what I just did. Again.
Okay.
I've been advised not to, so.
Can you say who your lawyer is?
No.
Okay. I think I know who it is, but
we're going to just leave it at that.
Okay. So
I'm not purposely evading your questions. I'm just trying. I have a line I can't cross, and I'm trying to toe that line as closely as I can, but there's things I can't say.
Why? Can you answer this one? Why so secretive? I mean, are you scared? Is it because you're scared? Are you worried?
It's because my lawyer told me not to talk about it publicly. That's why.
Okay. All right. So are you worried about being doxxed? Are you worried about like coming on a program like this? Are you worried that, there's a lot of people that don't like Karen Reed and and they're very vicious. Some of these people, they're very mean, right? They say mean things about me. They make memes. They're ugly, vicious people. Does that worry you at all?
Yes, very much so. I mean, and I think that's why I've never wanted to say anything. Because I just, nobody wants to be called, terrible names on the internet and, have their stuff smashed all over the place. So, I mean, but at the same time, I mean, I'm kind of like at the point where, I'm fed up, right? I mean, I think Karen's getting hosed and I'm just fed up with the way that this whole thing is going. Honestly, I mean, just watching this and watching what's been happening, it's just crazy. I mean, this woman is getting railroaded and it's just insanity.
So you didn't deliberate and you have somewhat of a strong personality and so does Victoria George. And the other woman who was also eliminated was also have you talked to the third woman, the other woman that was eliminated, the other alternate?
Yeah.
Yep. And she's pretty, she believes Karen's innocent and would have voted that way?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So that's 3 women who all would have voted not guilty, all of whom were eliminated on the final day. Do you feel if you were in that room with these people deliberating, would you have tried to would you have been like a Henry Fonda in 12 Angry Men? Do you think you could have persuaded some of the others to see the light?
I mean, I would like to think so, but then, you know, some of the stuff I hear coming out of there, it's just mind-boggling to me. But I mean, I think I would have been able to at least have people see common sense, right? Because to me, this whole thing was about common sense, right? I don't, you know, there was, I think to some extent, right? How are such smart people so dumb? It's like they're too smart for their own good, right? That they can't actually see common sense. And so to some extent, like, I feel like that's where they missed it, is they were too like focused on being super smart and like, you know, well, this and that. Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like I would have, I know it doesn't sound like it right now, but I do have a strong personality. I do think I could have convinced some of them. I do think that, you know, it probably would have, you know, I don't know that it would have gone in full acquittal, right? I mean, I can't say that I would have been able to do that, but, you know, I mean, I do think that I would have been able to bring a few more people onto the, you know, this is nonsense side.
Yeah. I mean, like Ronnie seems to have been banged around like a ping pong ball in that deliberation room. And last week you told me that you think Ronnie's kind of full of shit.
To some extent, yes.
Because how so?
You know, there are some of us that have kept in touch and you hear things differently and the rememberings of things are not all the same. And the commonality seems to be some of his memories.
And I believe you said that you believe his memories are that that he was actually a guilty voter, that he's kind of lying about being a not guilty voter.
I think he's convinced himself that maybe he wasn't, but that's, you know, again, I'm going off hearsay, right? I wasn't in there, so I can't say for sure, but I can only just say what I've heard.
So that means you're still friendly with at least one person who was a deliberating juror. I mean, you could say, you might as well say it. I mean, who gives a fuck? I mean, seriously, who cares? Who cares? What the fuck's gonna happen? Like, oh no, Plevin's gonna fucking, who cares? Might as well just say it. Who gives a fuck? Stop it.
I'm trying to be
Come on. Wait, so
I'm friendly. I've stayed friendly with multiple jurors, some that were deliberating, some that were not. Yes. I mean, I'm not going to give names. I'm not going to say yes, no, or who or what, but I mean, and I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to be purposely evasive. I'm just trying to be respectful to the other people that haven't necessarily wanted to speak. And so I don't necessarily, you know, I don't want to speak for somebody else. That's all I'm saying.
How come none of the other, so there's 3 jurors who voted not guilty and stayed that way the whole time and would not budge. And I call those people heroes because they held the line in the face of pressure and they were not going to let this woman get railroaded. They were not going to do it ever. They were never going to give in. And I love those people.
Me too.
But none of them, I would love to talk to one of them. I know who 2 of them are. I don't know who the third one is. I know one was a man who was sitting 2 seats, who was sitting in the first seat. Juror number 1, I called him. He was a not guilty voter. He's the one who has spoken to Christina Rex a couple times. Another one was the young lady who I believe was sitting directly next to you, right? The nurse. Yes. And she was a very solid not guilty voter. And I'll tell you one thing, she was the one during the deliberations when I was talking to Karen Reed's team, we're like, who's holding this jury up? What is going on? And we were trying to figure it out. And they were like, they couldn't figure it out. And they're like, I don't know about the young girl. I don't know about her. And I'm like, I don't know. I think she's solid. And it turns out she was like the most solid of all of them. And like, it was the PhDs that were the problem. And like Ryan Piotrowski, did you see the form? Everybody wants to know about the foreman. Did you see that coming, that he was going to be like leader of the Karen Reed is guilty of manslaughter movement?
Not even in the slightest bit. No. I mean, that was like, I don't know, multiple personality disorder, but no, there is absolutely no way that I would have seen that coming. It actually was quite the opposite.
Did you ever talk to him at all? Do you guys, I mean, you spent a lot of time together, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were in 2 different jury rooms. So, I mean, we didn't like, he was in the other jury room. So it wasn't like we were sitting down eating lunch together every day. But I mean, he was right in my little corner. So yeah, I mean.
What'd you guys talk about?
Everything but the trial. I mean,
I don't even know what that means. Like all I talk about is the trial. So I don't even know. I guess you talk about sports. What do you guys even talk about?
I mean, every time there was a sidebar, we would just talk about the annoyances of that and laugh about it. I mean, I'm trying to think
that's just crazy not to be able to talk about the one thing that you all have in common, which is this thing that you're all sitting through this fucking trial. And like, how tempting is it not to get back to the jury room and be like, bro, if he says it's snowing one more fucking time, I swear to God, I'm going to fucking lose it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we all had the facial expressions of that, you know, the eye rolls and stuff like that. So, I mean, there were things like that we probably said without saying them. But I mean, no, honestly, we got to the end of conversations. Like, you know, we were talking about houses, we were talking about shoes, we were talking about, you know.
So, yeah, I'm going to go down the list.
We did puzzles. I mean, we talked about people's kids. Literally anything to talk about. It's like making small talk with 18 people for 32 days. It's, you know, you connect to some people and those are the people you know, actually try and get to know. You know, we spent time talking about Victoria being pregnant a lot, right? And she didn't feel great. So trying to, you know, help her. But then other people, you just make small talk.
She seemed pissed when they pulled her number out. She seemed pissed. Like, what the it was noticeably like, bro, like you could tell she wanted to deliberate badly. And then she came in the second day of deliberations in a bright pink dress.
I've never been more proud of her.
Yeah. And it was reported in the media.
Maybe the other day was when she filed her name on the Karen Reed team, but those were my 2 proudest of Victoria days.
Oh, right. Did you know she was going to do that? Did you know that she was joining the team?
No, nope.
That was pretty cool. I mean, I hope it helps. I hope do you still talk to Victoria?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And she hasn't been around. A lot of the trolls have started to spread the rumor that Victoria George quit on Karen Reed, that, she found out information and now she's flipping. And is that true? Is any of that true? Is she still cool with Karen Reed?
No, that's not true. Victoria has 4 children, as we all know. So.
Well, we don't all know that. You know that.
Well, I mean, I've seen it on the internet, so I assume that the internet knows. And she was pregnant during the trial, the first one. So she's got, you know, younger kids, right? I mean, no, she hasn't, you know, there's none of that going on.
Right. So
she's just as a believer as she was on, you know, whatever day she decided she was the believer.
So I want to go down. I'm going to go down. I'm going to give you a list of names here one by one. And I want you to tell me your first initial, either in one word or in just one small sentence. What comes to mind when I say the names of these witnesses? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Colin Albert.
Who falls on their knuckles when they slip on ice? Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Good answer. What about Brian Higgins?
Oh God. He does not know how to flirt.
That's what you took from him, was the messages? That was your
first. I mean, you're asking me the first thought in my head. That's the first thought, right?
All right. So. What about Uri Buchanan?
Oh my God. The inverted video is not the same. It's not the same. It's backwards. It's not just a mirror vision. It's bullshit.
Did he almost hit you with his cufflinks? Because you were very close, and his elbow hangs up high, real close to the jury.
I don't remember, actually. I don't remember now. Maybe. I think I was too shocked by the inverted video.
Okay. What about Jennifer McCabe?
I don't know why she always looked at me and smiled.
Oh, did she? She was looking at you.
It seemed like it. I know, maybe it was just my.
I was not allowed in the courtroom for the Jennifer McCabe testimony. As you know, I was removed, But so I didn't see the jury's reactions to her, but it's impossible not to notice that she kept looking at the jury for like you guys believe me, right? I'm a good person. I'm just like a normal mom. Like, you guys, she kept looking at you guys and she was looking for like approval. Like she wanted to see what you guys looked like. Yeah. You guys believe me, right? And so did you believe her?
No, not at all. Definitely not.
Do you believe she Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27?
100%. Yes, I do.
Oh,
and I think that I do. Yep.
All right, let's do some more names. Ian Whiffen. What did you think of him?
I think he wanted me to buy his homegrown software app more than he wanted to convince me that Jennifer McCabe did not Google how long to die in cold.
What about Brian Albert?
I don't know how he didn't come out of the house.
What was it like sitting next to him when he looked at you guys and he thanked the jury?
Yes.
And then on the day that you were removed, he was standing right behind you. He was sitting right behind you, staring at you.
Yeah.
And what was that like? Were you? I mean, he's a big boy.
Meaning like when he was on the stand or the day I walked in?
Let's do both. What was it like being on the stand with him with the Mr. Rogers look? And then what was it like on the day that he came in and he sat with the O'Keefes?
I didn't notice that he was there until I left. And by that point, I was like, tunnel vision, get me out of here. And I was contemplating, should I yell free Karen Reed in the courtroom? But then I was like, maybe I'll go to jail. So I shouldn't do that. So I just left.
Okay.
When he was on the stand, I mean, I watched him even when he wasn't talking. When the defense was talking, when people were asking him questions, I was still watching him because I wanted to see more of his reactions, not to questions, but in between the questions and things, because people tend to think you're not looking at them at that time. So I continued to look. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word, and I just don't know that.
What did you think of his whole Mr. Rogers look that he had on there? You didn't believe his whole thing about answering the phone while he was having sex. I mean, when you heard that?
I mean, I think I laughed because I laughed at a lot of those things. What else do you do? Yeah.
Okay. What did you think when Julie Albert said bukkake twice in the courtroom? What went through your head when you heard that?
I didn't know what that meant until last week, so I had no idea. I had to Google it last week because somebody said it to me.
You don't sound very exciting then. Okay, but either way, I'm just kidding.
No, I had no idea. So I thought it was just like his nickname that they called him, and I was kind of like, that's weird that she's calling him his nickname. But I didn't know anything more than that until literally last week. So
did you know who I was when I was in court? Like, had you heard of me before? Because they've accused you of being like a Turtleboy plant. Did you know who I was? When you saw me in court and we were looking at each other for 10 weeks, did you have any idea who I was then? What are your thoughts on me?
I mean, I recognized you, yes. But we didn't know each other. I mean, you did a story about a Christmas tree, and that's how I knew. But other than that, no. I mean, I didn't know you at all. I've never spoken to you until when? August?
Yeah. You reached out to me in an anonymous email, August. I thought I was getting trolled.
I remember that.
And then I did. You're like, no.
Now I see why. For what it's worth, now I see why.
And then we FaceTime. I'm like, oh shit, it's her. Oh wow. Okay, cool. So let's keep doing the names thing though. I like this. Let me think of some.
Okay.
First thing that you think of, Michael Proctor. What comes to mind?
He should have been fired far longer before then. I mean,
what about Paul? What about Paul O'Keefe?
He's like he's just an angry person, I think. I mean, he is just a very angry person, and he's not angry at the right people. And I think he's completely delusional in terms of like what actually happened.
You were looking at him for 10 weeks in a row. Did he? And this jury, apparently somebody felt uncomfortable with Paul because he was forced to move his seat after the second or third week. And he now sits in the back row. Did Paul make you feel uncomfortable at all the way he was staring at Karen Reed and jurors?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't love the way that he would stare at Karen, but Yannetti did such a great job like blocking her when it started becoming so obvious that that was what was happening. I mean, honestly, I don't know how she sits there every single day and doesn't scream because it's just, I mean, it's just crazy to me that she has so much self-control that she can sit there and not scream. And, the internet finds one face that she makes and, makes it out like she's this terrible person. I mean, you try and sit there all day and listen to this and not say a word.
Yeah. What'd you think of the faces Karen Reed made? Some people find it a turnoff. Others don't care. What did you think of the faces that she made during the trial?
So, I mean, honestly, there is a lot of things that happen in that courtroom that you do not see on television. So
Like what?
Well, I mean, what you see is one face that she may make on a particular day when the camera pans on her, but you don't see her when she sits there the entire time when people are, being asked questions about her. And I watched her quite a bit and I watched like her demeanor, right? And people say she doesn't have any emotion or thing. If you watch her, yeah, she really does, but she's trying hard to not have the emotion, likely because she's told not to. So there's a lot of things that happen in that courtroom that you don't see on TV. And Karen's demeanor is one of them.
All right. So back to the
I wish everybody could see what we saw of her, because it would really change people's.
Well, we kind of do this time around. There's a Karen cam this time around that's showing her the whole time. The Zoom picture picks up on her. And I do feel like this time her facial expressions aren't she's definitely making less of them this time around. She's just an expressive person, her face in general. And let's be honest, like if you take any video and you just pause it at the right time, you can get anyone making a funny face, like did you see the New York Post today?
No.
Oh my God. Their headline, you got to see it. I got to show you this headline. This is fucking outrageous. Give me 1 second to pull it up. Like I've never seen anything this offensive than the headline. Okay, here it is. I'm going to pull it up now. Wait till you see this goddamn headline. This is outrageous. And I'm sure some people in the chat have seen this, but this is the New York Post today. Okay. It says,
oh, seriously?
Yeah. Karen Reed. Yeah. This is what it says. Karen Reed, sinister smirk as gory photos of her dead cop boyfriend were shown in court. And it's like, and then I go to read it. I mean, this is trash journalism, just absolute trash journalism. And it's by some reporter who we're going to shame right now because we have 17,000 people watching. Smash that subscribe button if you're new here. All right.
17,000 people watching this.
It's the biggest. Congratulations. This is the biggest show I've ever had. 17,000 live viewers. So you're welcome.
I don't think I'm that entertaining, but okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could be you could be a little more entertaining, but
all right, I'm gonna try. I didn't realize. Okay.
All right. So it says Karen Reed flashed sinister smirk as gory photos of her dead cop boyfriend are shown. This is by Anna Young. Who's this? Does she have a bio here? I click on it. So there's Anna Young. Okay, she sucks. She's a joke. She's trash. And I go and let's read the article. It says Karen Reed had a sinister smirk during yesterday's murder retrial. The same day jurors were shown gruesome photos of her boyfriend's battered, lifeless body. She grinned manically as graphic images of John O'Keefe's bruised and bloodied body were revealed to the jury as an expert witness testified that the blunt force trauma that killed the Boston cop wasn't consistent with being struck by an SUV. Perhaps she was smiling because she was vindicated by this testimony. Has that ever occurred to this woman that she's spent the last 3 years being framed for a murder she didn't commit, and now a highly acclaimed doctor and medical examiner is showing these injuries and saying those didn't come from someone who died from hypothermia and was hit by a car. Who wouldn't be happy? They call that sinister. This is outrageous. Am I alone in this world thinking this is outrageous?
No, this is crazy.
The body did not have any hypothermia, she testified. Who wouldn't smile about that? And then she displayed the Joker line grin. As an expert witness testified, there was no evidence. A Joker line grin. Are you fucking kidding me?
So, I mean, I'm just going to say this, and I hope that she doesn't get upset with me, but I watched Karen the first time around with the autopsies.
Yep.
She sat there the entire time, taking deep breaths. You could tell she was upset. I don't know if it was photos, this, that. I don't know what it was exactly, but I could see her taking deep breaths and trying to calm herself down. So this is the biggest bunch of fucking bullshit, because this is one photo that somebody took and, you know, went through a video to find the absolute worst freeze frame that they could find to put it on the internet. Yet they don't watch her every single day in the moments when, you know, nobody is paying attention to her.
Right. Right.
I guess it's so infuriating, because these things are not how she's reacting. Not at least when I was there. And I watched her for 10 weeks. I watched her a lot for 10 weeks.
Right. And you weren't at all offended, obviously, by the faces Karen Read made or anything like that. I mean, I'm just so disgusted that they actually put this out there. I don't even know where to start, but it's just absolutely disgusting that this is the state of the media, that they would put something out like that. But
no, and that's why, I mean, the one that was on the camera, I mean, that was the problem. It was, she did not like the faces that Karen was making. And that's what I said to
the
court officer.
If anybody can find Anna Young's Twitter account, please let me know so we can absolutely destroy her and shame her, as she should be, because that is disgusting. And you need clapback if you're going to get something like that. You know, just outrageous, absolutely fucking outrageous that you'd put a headline like that. So,
it's just, I mean, what's the point of it? It's just not nice, right? Doesn't this poor woman have enough shit on her plate that she doesn't need to open the New York fucking Post and see pictures of herself like this? Like, put yourself in her shoes for just 1 second. It's just awful.
Well, you know, the media isn't required to be nice, but the media should be honest. And a headline like that, my problem with it is it's dishonest, because it's not sinister. First of all, to catch her smiling is not sinister.
Right.
Maybe just she's actively involved in her defense team. They're having a discussion about something, and some good testimony came out that's helping her case, and she smiles. I feel like only a woman would come up with a headline like that, because only a woman could be that catty towards another woman to be like, oh, she's smiling, that bitch.
Or like, maybe she said, I really have to pee. I hope this goes fast. Or maybe she said, I'm so annoyed because my hair looked great when I left the hotel this morning, and now I feel like it's frizzing because it's so freaking humid in here because Auntie Bev won't put the ACs on. Like, who knows what she said? And who cares?
What was it like not being able to go to the bathroom whenever you wanted? I mean, I was in court today, and I had to pee wicked bad by like 12:30, and I'm like, the fake victim was up, and I'm like, but I can't miss this. I got to write down I can't leave, period. It's my trial.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, that must have sucked. Well,
I mean, we got to leave and pee when we had to, but nobody wanted to be the person that nobody ever wanted to be the person that was like, excuse me, I have to pee. But then as soon as one person did it, you know, we would all run back, and everybody was very grateful because everybody had to pee. So
yeah.
But these are the dumbest things that we're thinking about.
So let me give you some more names. Lucky Loughran. What'd you think of him? Because what really
loved him.
Oh, you did.
Loved him. He's the sweetest man. He is the sweetest man. And he just wanted to plow the roads. He
He did.
you know, felt bad about hitting the basketball net. And, you know, he just was such a nice man.
Well, that's nice to hear, because Ronnie said that they found him the least credible of all the witnesses. When I asked them, like, which witness was the least credible, they were like, they said Lucky. And I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you know, sometimes you can't fix common sense.
Yeah. So let me think of some more news. Would you, Tristan Morris, what comes to mind when I say that name? Anything?
Oh, how much trouble he got in when he got home for saying that what's her face was high maintenance, and that kid seriously had no idea what day, time, or month it was.
Yeah.
Everything was, I don't remember, right?
He doesn't remember. He doesn't remember anything. Let's see. What about Allie McCabe?
Oh, she got caught. She got caught slipping up when she said that Colin wasn't in the house when John was there.
Did you pick up on that when you were?
Did.
You did.
I did. Yep.
You did. Oh, wow.
Did.
A lot of people didn't pick up on that, but you picked up on that when she said that. That's interesting.
Yes.
She also cried, and it was about me. She was
did.
kind of the first one to cry about me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she did.
Were you buying her tears when she cried?
I mean, look, you never want somebody to cry because you never want someone to feel bad. But I mean, you know, that wasn't why I was there, to feel bad for her. I was there to figure out if, you know, Karen was guilty or innocent. So
what did you think of the Canton police, like Seraph and Gallagher and Good? What did you think of them?
They were very unmemorable to me. I'm trying to think. I mean, we watched their dash cam videos. I remember writing everything down as they were talking, because for some reason I felt like the footage between the street and the flagpole was like gonna make a difference, and turns out it didn't. So I think, yeah, they were not memorable to me.
What did you think of the Sullivan sluts?
Oh, mean girls. Mean girls.
Okay. You thought they were mean girls?
Oh, mean girls. They pointless and mean.
Interesting. I think a lot of people share that opinion about them, just especially since Karen apparently paid for their room too. Like, whatever disagreement they had, one of them said that, like, yeah, but later on she came and apologized and then offered to pay for our cabana or whatever.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So,
and I was like, why are you being so mean then? If she'd offered to pay for your stuff, can't we just like get over it?
Yeah. Well, they were just like, justice for Johnny, you know, like, we need to come back. I don't know. Yeah. What did you think of the kids testifying? What were your thoughts on that when they, I was in there for that.
I mean, I don't see any reason why that was done, honestly. I mean, I guess it sounds like this time around, I forget who testified, the girl. So it sounds like she wanted to this time, right? I mean, it just seemed awful to put them up there. Honestly, I was annoyed very much with Lally that he brought them in there. I just did not see that it was any point at all.
Okay. So you weren't moved by their testimony. They didn't do much to, I mean, I think that's a comment, especially the boy. I mean, they added nothing.
No, I mean, it's not that I didn't, you know, I feel for the kids. Of course, it's an awful situation. And two things can be true at the same time. It can be an awful situation and they shouldn't have had to sit in a courtroom and talk about it.
All right.
So
what did you
I mean, now this time around on it.
So this time around, I know you said you haven't watched the trial as much this time around, but it's a very different trial, right? And there's some very different witnesses. Have you seen, have you been generally, like, if I said the name Dr. Lapasado, you know who that is? Have you seen any of her testimony?
Is she the one, she is the medical examiner yesterday that said she had the best line of the day. What was it? I didn't look because it doesn't matter because she didn't hit him with a car or something.
Yeah, she's the queen. She's the best ever at everything.
Yeah.
So do you wish you saw her in the first trial? Like, yes. You feel
she would have been, she was definitely more convincing, more concise than Dr. Sheridan.
Yes, because Dr. Sheridan, what did you think of him?
I mean, he seemed like a nice man. He seemed like, you know, an intelligent man, but he also seemed, I mean, very old. And
he had an accent too. He had a heavy accent. And he did seem very old. Yes.
I don't remember if he was difficult to understand now that you're saying that. I forgot he had an accent.
Oh, he did. It's a very strong accent too. So
okay. I don't remember that, but
yeah. And he was older, he seemed experienced at all, but you're right. He did
experienced, but out of practice a little bit. I think that's, how I would have, I think that's how I looked at it. Experienced, but out of practice.
And just not as confident. Dr. 𝗲𝗂𝗧𝘂, I've never seen somebody as confident as her. And not like 𝗬𝗿𝗄𝗆 was arrogant for no reason. Whereas Dr. 𝗲𝗂𝗧𝘂 was so confident and I don't know if cocky or self-assured in her answers, just that she just had alpha male like presence to her. Like it was so fucking awesome.
She was a spitfire for sure. I mean, she was just like giving it back.
Yes. So what about trying to think who else in this trial, the new ones that you didn't see. So you never saw Kelly Dever or Dever.
No.
Did you watch her testimony this time around?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched pieces and parts of it. And I don't know how she got away with being that disrespectful.
So it's interesting because the defense talked to her 2 months, or actually right before the first trial began, and they elected not to bring her on as a witness because so they get the 𝗃𝗏 report in February, and they're like, holy, she was in there. And like she says in the 𝗃𝗏 report that she saw Higgins and Ken Berkowitz alone in the Sally Port garage for a wildly long period of time and so that they immediately are like, let's call her as a witness, right? Let's call her up. And then they call her up and she's like, actually, that was a false memory. Now that I talked to Chief Cox, Commissioner Cox, I suddenly remembered that I don't remember that. But the defense this time, even though she had the same story she did a year ago, they're like, fuck it. It's worth the risk. We're calling her now. Do you wish you heard her as a witness, as a juror? And do you think it helped the defense to bring her on?
I think she looked like, she looked like someone who was trying to
start an OnlyFans.
She looked like someone who was trying to cover an ass because she shouldn't have said something to begin with. And now she was like going back and trying to correct it. Like somebody clearly said something to her. It seems like, seeing her, I think if they brought her in at the end at that point, I would have just been like, all right, whatever. You're just one more person that's just not going to tell me the truth today. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to move on with my life.
Okay. So do you think it was helpful or not to bring her on?
I think it was helpful for the defense in the sense that she definitely came across as just rude and that she didn't want to be there. And that, obviously, because she said she didn't know why she was there. But she seemed like she was trying to backtrack and be like, I didn't say that, or I was misremembering. Like, how do you misremember that kind of stuff? So I think she helped. I think she showed, I think she would have been better for the third party conspiracy as opposed to the reasonable doubt with no collision. So for that, I don't know that she necessarily did anything, but I think she would have been more fuckery in the first trial.
All right.
If that makes sense.
She would have been more fuckery, like
meaning like one more person that was just saying ridiculous things.
Okay. Yeah. So it would have only reestablished. Yeah, you're right. Like I get what you're saying, that she would just been another person that's like makes you roll your eyes like, what the fuck is going on here? But that Ronnie would have called the distractor.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Nicholas Barros, let's talk about him.
I love him.
So when he testified in the first trial, which you were a juror in, he said that the taillight was cracked but not completely broken. What did you think of that when he said that?
I believed him. He had no reason to say anything other than the truth. I completely believed him. I wish the defense had crossed him.
And you wish the defense had crossed him?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. And asked him like they did this time, did the taillight look like this?
Yep. That was one thing that I think they learned from trial one, is that him just saying that wasn't enough, and they needed to establish that much more.
The first thing. Go ahead.
And when he said, absolutely not with such certainty, that's what they needed.
That was powerful.
Yes, exactly.
Your jury did not hear that. This jury did.
No, we didn't hear it. Nope.
And that's one of 10 reasons I could think of. Let me tell you 10 reasons just off the top of my head why I think this second jury is going to acquit her more than your jury, right? Okay, so the testimony of Nicholas Barros was so much stronger because of absolutely not. That's one.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep,
the testimony of Łukasz Loughran was better because of the way that he held up during cross examination with Hank, just refused to budge, refused to say that he was a victim of bullying or whatever, like any of that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. There was no Dr. La Posada in trial 1. Okay. I think she is a huge addition. It makes them a million times stronger. I think that the 𝗪𝗃 experts were 10 times better this time than they were the first time, because they had all those videos, which they didn't have the first time, showing this. They more visuals, like they didn't have a single visual in the first trial. They just sat there and explained the science to you and all that stuff. What else makes this time a million times stronger? Who else? What am I thinking? Check. Give me some help here.
Marie Russell was way more confident, way more prepared this time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sassy back to Hank too, which I don't think she was sassy enough back to Lally the first time around, when she was like, oh, no, that was the best thing I've ever seen. I love her. She was much more confident this time around too. I think everybody that they've put on has been far more confident this time.
And I think that Hank is ultimately a net negative for them. This is my number 6 reason why, is that Lally was more likable than Hank Brennan was. People felt bad for him, or do you disagree?
Likable? I don't know. Feeling bad for? Maybe. Hank, he's nowhere near in the category of Hank. There's no doubt about that. Hank's just mean, and he just is a bully. Lally what? Wasn't a bully,
I lost it. Oh,
he was just kind of no personality.
Yeah. I just want to tell Barb here. I want to tell somebody to go fuck themselves. Hey, Barb. Go fuck yourself, Barb. Get the fuck out of here, you cunt. Anyway, I just had to tell Barb that because I saw that.
Oh.
And I hate it when people tell me to comment. Don't tell me how to talk, Barb. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, so that's.
You would think people would know that by
I
now.
know you would think it's like you got the wrong channel. I don't know where you've been, right? I just had to say that. Number 7, Bob 𝗲𝗄𝗃 this time around, right? They didn't have him the first time around, and I think that he is very good and better than the other attorneys at the technical shit and breaking it down and going through his best cross-examination in this whole trial was with the medical examiner, right? He was so good with her, and with Ian Whiffen, he was really good too, and just explaining why these people are bullshit. You didn't have Bob 𝗲𝗃. What do you think of him? You didn't sit through him.
No, so I do think it's easier to follow when he breaks everything down, because he goes kind of step by step for those of us that are not science jurors, which definitely is me. I was picking out the key sentences because a lot of things, was over my head, right? I didn't, if I use the 𝗵𝗍 as an example, you can say that all the medical terms and all of this, and I don't understand that. But what I understand is the injuries are not consistent with being hit by a car. And that's all I needed to know. But then for somebody who's more science focused, right, they need that breakdown. So that's where 𝗲𝗃 is helping so much for those types of jurors, like the science, the engineer ones, right? They saw that last time around. So I think that's where it's helping.
Yeah, you're right. You do, because like one of the leaders of the Lynch Kearney movement in the jury last time was an engineer.
Correct.
And he believed he was smarter than the 𝗪𝗃 experts, I believe. This time around, I don't know how he could think that after this time around, because they really walked them through everything that they were saying. And, they explained more so in detail, the science and the physics of how, like what his arm would look like, how many shards of tail light wouldn't be able to even catch up to the arm. It wouldn't even be like, it's not traveling. He's explaining velocity and all this shit. It's just fascinating how he explained it all, that didn't happen in the first trial. So what are some other reasons why I think that this time around was better? I think that honestly, just the lack of the conspiracy shit, you know, it's like you believed it, you know, you thought it was effective. That's what sold you. But ultimately, that didn't sell enough people on the jury. And so I think that ultimately not going that route is going to be a positive, even though your message, even though I agreed with it 2 weeks ago, right? But you know what I mean? It was like, I was at that point too, though.
I was going to say, we agreed 2 weeks ago. And I think we agree now that, you know, we should.
I was worried. I was very worried.
Yeah. We should trust the defense team, right? They have a strategy just because we don't know it. So we're sitting here all nervous. Like, what do you mean you're not calling Proctor? What do you mean you're not calling, you know, Brian Higgins? But I mean, it was the smart way to go because now there's nobody to refute some of the things that were said. Right. So
right. Yeah.
That's why, you know,
no decorated dude. You can't come on there and talk about how none of this stuff happened.
Exactly.
Like but Brian Albert doesn't have a chance to explain his bullshit away. He doesn't get to explain why he didn't come out of the house. The jurors are just left with that the dude didn't come out of the house. He never came out of the house, you know?
And that's, I think, and that's the different strategy that they're taking this time, right? Whereas before it was the conspiracy, and this time it's, these are the things, right? But there's nobody, you know, there's nobody coming in to explain all of these things away, all of the weirdness of why he didn't come out of the house. I mean, that's going to be a big focal point, I think, in closings as well as it was in opening, because it's just so unbelievable that a first responder doesn't come out of their house. So, I mean, yeah. I didn't understand it 2 weeks ago. I understand it better now.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you later about the message I just got. But you know, I think, imagine just what do you think Karen Reed's going through right now? Like the thoughts that are in her head. Imagine being in her shoes right now, where you're about to have your fate left up to 12 strangers. Imagine that.
No, I can't even imagine it. I can't. She is a strong, very brave woman. And I think, you know, if all of us could be half of as great as she is, then we'd all be better people. Honestly. I mean, I don't know how she does it. I really don't.
I don't either.
She's amazing.
As somebody who's been twice now in the last 3 or 4 months, I have stood in front of a judge after Robert Cosgrove has filed a motion to revoke my bail for 60 days. Right. And I've stood in front of that judge. And let me tell you, it happened in Stoughton and then it happened again in Dedham. And I was shitting my pants. Like I was scared. And like, cause I'm like, oh my God, 60, I can't go to jail for 60 days. I can't, like, no, 60 days, you know? Whereas if you're Karen Reed now, you're like, holy shit. Like if I was her, I wouldn't want to stop calling witnesses because I would just want to delay this as long as possible. Like I would just be too scared. I'd be so scared of deliberations that I would just want to delay it as long as possible. Like, let's call another fucking witness. Let's call the Asian house lady. Let's call Kelleher. Let's call I would just keep fucking calling people because I'm like, well, you know, maybe Auntie Bev will be hit by lightning during this time. The longer I drag this out, the fucking better. You know what I mean? But I just can't imagine the finality of just accepting that it's time to put my fate in the hands of 12 people. I can't imagine what that's like.
I mean, I can't either, but I mean, you got to believe that to some extent, right? She's just like, enough is enough, right? It's going to be what it's going to be. And it's, you know, I don't know. I don't know how she does it.
Well, I just want to remind Karen Reed that, like Taz says here, my guy Taz, he's a regular down in the courthouse. You know, she's going to be acquitted. It's going to happen. It is going to be the best fucking feeling ever. And there's going to be a couple thousand people outside that courthouse, and you are going to hear screams of joy when that happens. Like, and it is going to be the best feeling in the world, and it is going to feel so good, and it's going to be over, and there's nothing they can do to hurt her anymore. And
I can't wait.
yeah,
I can't wait.
It's going to happen. You got to remind yourself it's going, like, the hung jury was a fluke. Hung juries are rare. They're not very common. And that was a fluke. That was a fluke. This is a fluke jury. This is a defense team that has learned their lessons, that has come back much stronger in the second trial. And Hank Brennan in the last week is unraveling in front of our eyes.
I completely agree with that. I mean, because they're just knocking it down one by one. And that's everything that, the jury is going to be left with.
Yes.
Is all of these witnesses, one after one after one, saying without any sliver of a doubt, he was not hit by a car.
Not hit by a car. Over.
And that's over and over and over.
𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗂, Wolf, and Rentschler is how they ended things. Wasn't hit by a car. Wasn't hit by a car. Wasn't hit by a car. Period. And he didn't die from hypothermia, so he wasn't out there that long. Okay, that's how they ended this show. I mean, who did they have? And then before that, who did they have? He wasn't on the lawn. Wasn't on the lawn. Wasn't on the lawn. Wasn't on the lawn. Tail light wasn't broken to smithereens. Wasn't broken to smithereens. Wasn't broken to smithereens. And oh yeah, where the fuck is Proctor? Where's Brian Albert? Where are all Brian Higgins? Where are all your? Why the fuck are you hiding them, Hanky? Why do you feel the need to present a sweatshirt and pretend that it was ripped on the ground when you know goddamn well that Maureen Hartnett did that? Desperate people do that. This is a desperate person.
Where's Chloe?
Well,
I mean,
fuck Chloe. That's what I think of Chloe. Then doggy hell if she's alive or she's dead. Chloe can get fucked. Chloe's a bad dog. Poor Chloe. Chloe's a bad dog. Some dogs are just bad. Some dogs are just bad.
I'm not a dog person. So I mean, I probably just pissed off the internet by saying that, but I'm not a dog person.
And I know it's not the dog, it's the owner. It's the dog.
I'm with you, though. It's a whole different case. It's a whole different. I mean, I feel better this time around with the way that they just put all of these witnesses one after one after one. I don't see how any person could convict her of anything.
They can't.
I mean, it's completely crazy.
They can't do it. And there's no you on the trial making funny faces. So they don't even know who to eliminate this time around.
Well, thank God.
They can't.
Thank God somebody learned something from me.
Yeah.
Right?
They can't rig it, so
keep your faces to yourself.
I'm telling you guys, it's like we're all fucked up from the last trial because she was, the hung jury and the interview with Ronnie. Forget about that. That's over. That's done. It's a whole new jury this time around. They heard an entirely different case. They don't even know who Colin Albert is. They don't give a fuck about Colin Albert. They don't give a fuck about. They didn't call Rick Green. Let's talk about Rick Green. So what'd you think of him as a juror?
I'm trying to remember.
He's the 220. He's the Google search guy.
No, I know who he is. I'm just trying to remember. I think he came in after Ian Whiffen and what's her face? Jessica Hyde.
He was the defense witness. The guy looked like Chris Farley.
Yeah. I don't think this is probably the popular answer, but I honestly don't think I listened to all that much that he had to say because the other two convinced me of how ridiculous it was that they were proving that the search didn't happen, that I didn't need to hear Rick Green say that it did.
So you believed it before he even took the stand. You believed it happened.
Yes, because Whiffen and Jessica Hyde were so ridiculous in their analysis and reasonings and this, that, and the other thing that I did not believe either one of them. So
okay.
Rick Green to me was just I would say he was just like the icing on the cake.
Well, they didn't even bother with Rick Green this time around. They used some of his findings. They used his findings against Jennifer McCabe. They just didn't call him up because this trial is not about Jennifer McCabe killing John O'Keefe, right? We all know what she did, right? But it's not about, they don't have to prove Jennifer McCabe did it. They just have to prove Karen Reed did it. And she didn't. period. And it's just more obvious than ever. And last trial, it was really just the 𝗺cie guys, you know, that got up there and explained the science of how she didn't do it. Whereas this time around, it was the 𝗺cie guys on steroids and Dr. 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗧 and what's her name? And Dr. Russell was a million times stronger and more resolute. Yeah. And so, yeah, it was just.
I do wish that we got Dog Daddy, though. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed that there was no Dog Daddy.
Garrett Wing?
Huh?
Garrett Wing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a travesty. That is, I love Garrett Wing.
I would have liked him to go, but I understand. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, right? He didn't get hit by a car. So why bring in people that aren't necessarily needed, I guess, to prove that he wasn't hit by the car, right? I mean, you've established this with the last 5 people. So
yeah. So I think that, I mean, I want to remind people out there that, like, it's going to end. Don't worry. Don't worry about it, guys. I understand we all are scared, and you know, you're worried for Karen and justice and blah, blah, blah. And the worst people, like, we've just invested so much in this emotionally, like all the Twitter beef and the evil people and the crusty panties and the fucking Julie Carpenters, like these fucking deranged John DePietros. And you're like, they can't win. They don't get to win, right? The bad guys don't fucking win. The bad guys fucking lose. And they're making us go through this, and it's fucking horrible. And they're making her go through it, and it's fucking horrible. And we all agree it, but they don't. That can't be how the fucking story ends. It's not going to end that way. It's going to end with Karen Read being acquitted, and it's going to be fucking awesome. Period. Done.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
But
I'm, you know, totally 180. I was worried 2 weeks ago, and no, I'm not anymore. I mean, I'm really not.
Awesome. That's awesome. So,
which I guess that's a good swing, right? I mean,
why don't I take some questions from any Turtle Riders in the chat? If you guys want to throw your questions up in the chat, I'll answer. I'll if I see good ones, I'll bring them up. If you guys have any questions for juror number 3 before we excuse her for the time she's given us tonight. And I understand some people in the chat are like, why even come on if she can't? You know, she agreed to come on. You know, she can't talk about everything that she'd like to talk about, but also I mean, you try putting yourself out there like that. You know what I mean? It's like, not everybody wants to get fucking skewered by the internet. You know, give her a break, for crying out loud. You know? Okay. Let me see. People asking, what do you think of Kerry Roberts?
I mean, she's like the most useless guest that you bring to a dinner party.
Okay.
I mean, other than that she committed perjury and then tried to say that she didn't. I mean, that discredited her right there. So, I mean, other than that, the most useless guest that you bring to the dinner party. Maybe just because you don't want to. I don't know.
Who was the first witness that convinced you Karen Read was innocent? How long did it take you to believe that Karen Read was innocent?
Oh, I think so. I mean, during all of it, right? I mean, it was all of the crazy McAlbert stuff that didn't make sense, right? So none of it was like adding up. So that was a little bit like, okay, that doesn't make sense with that, and this doesn't make sense with that. But I think the minute that I was like, I'm sure, was it was Higgins on the stand, and they were talking about the butt dials. And it was like a 22-second phone call or something. And he said, you know, Higgins said, oh, well, you know, even if I did talk to him or something, don't quote me, I don't remember what he said, but the gist was, you can't have a meaningful conversation in 22 seconds. Right. And so AJ wanted Auntie Bev to stop and like observe 22 seconds long, just so that we could get the feel for how long 22 seconds was. And of course she didn't do that. Right.
Fucking unbelievable. She wouldn't do that. Forgot about that.
But you know, there were some of us who didn't need her to do that. Right. So then as soon as she said no, I looked right at the clock that was sitting above like where she is. Right. And AJ asked 3 very quick questions that had 3 very distinct answers that were very meaningful questions. And it was that second that I was like, you can have a meaningful conversation in 22 seconds because you two just did.
That's cool. That's good insight right there. I like that. That's really interesting. That's something we didn't know beforehand. See, that's award-winning journalism right there. Getting answers like that. That's something I hadn't thought of before. That you actually that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
I want to talk. Yeah.
Let me see here. Let's see. I'm trying to see some more questions here. See, so a lot of the people like you in the chat. They're like, I want to be friends with Juror number 3. She seems cool. Here's a good one.
Some people saying I'm boring, so I guess
that's okay. You can't win them all.
Nice.
Somebody asked the question. This is the one I want to see. Was the tour of 34 Fairview helpful when you guys went there?
Yes, because I climbed underneath the car.
You were the one that went under the car, right?
Yes.
Why the fuck did you do that?
Because I wanted to see if there was scratches underneath it, because there's no way that you can back up at 24 miles an hour and not hit something. It's fucking impossible. Not hitting the curb, not hitting anything, no scratches on your hubcaps. I mean, I'm not a great driver, so I know these things. It's not possible.
Do you think that the 34 Fairview trip would have been better towards the end of the trial after you had heard all these people talk about not hearing anything outside?
It didn't. I mean, I don't really know that it mattered to me, honestly. I mean, it would have been fine either way, I think. But
let me rephrase that. When Brian Albert said he didn't come out of the house because he didn't hear anything, and they all said they didn't hear or see anything, did you immediately think about, like, okay, I was there. Is that realistic? I was there. Could that have, you'd already been there at that point. Do you think if you had heard that and then went and looked at the house, do you think that would have been a better way to do it?
No, honestly, I think it was better to have seen it and to have that perspective before all of those things, because then as you're listening, you're like, how is that possible? Because when we were at that site visit, AJ pointed out those windows and said, look at those 2 windows right there.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I didn't know they were allowed to do that.
Yeah. So they each pointed out certain things that they wanted us to look at. So, and again, it might have been Yannetti. I don't remember. It was one of them that was talking, but they said to look at the gate, look at the proximity of the flagpole to the mailbox, and to look at those 2 windows.
And what did the what did Adam Lally want you to look at?
I honestly don't even remember what he said. That's how like unmeaningful it was. It was probably something like, you know, look at the door. I truly don't remember what he said. And I mean, I kind of walked around and did my own thing anyways. So
yeah, sounds like,
I mean, I walked to the neighbors' houses and looked across from their doorbells. I was under the car. So I don't know. I was walking against the sidewalk from the mailbox to the flagpole, counting on my feet of how many feet it actually was.
Oh, really? You actually measured that?
Yes. And then I measured across and then like walked up, and because there was at some point a mention of a 3-point turn. And I was like trying to figure out if she could have done the 3-point turn and backing up without hitting the curb. And she couldn't have with the width of the street, at least not well in the snow. So
I didn't know you were. I thought that was one of those things Auntie Bev lectured you on not doing your own.
Yeah, she did, but we did it anyways. All of us. I think everybody did it.
Oh, okay.
Well, she told us we can't use those measurements as like, you know, factual or whatever. Right, but I was not the only one that was walking and counting. No.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, cool. All right. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to let you go now, and I'm going to read the chats. But I appreciate your time, and thank you for coming on here. And free Karen Reed, right?
You got it. Free Karen Reed. Maybe I'll see you Friday.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you outside the courthouse.
We'll see.
All right.
I was already in court once this week. I don't know.
Yeah. Last question. What did you were in court today in Dedham District Court, right?
I was.
Yeah. What'd you think of my whole case? What'd you think?
So, when Bradel said the taillights, I like almost burst out laughing. There was something about, so was there taillight fragments around? And I just almost burst out laughing. I was like, where am I right now?
Yeah. What'd you think what'd you think of the fake victim? Did you watch her testify at all? Were you there?
No, because again, it turns out I have to go to work when they don't pay me $50 a day to be there all day. So I was there for the cops and the map builder person.
Oh, right.
Or,
What did you think of the cops?
I mean, they stood up there and said that you tried everything within your power to not do anything wrong. And then Cosgrove still says, like, lynch him and put him in jail. So this is just crazy to me.
Yeah, it was Crump said it a few times today. He kept saying that, like, yeah, he was making a good faith effort to be 100 yards away. That's
it was said more than a couple of times. Yeah. So I was just like, oh my Lord. Like, it was just, I don't know,
Yeah.
It's interesting to be back and listen to things that don't make sense.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. I want to see whatever that text was too.
Oh, I'll show you. Oh, yeah. I'll show you. Yeah. All right. All right.
Because I like gossip too.
Of course. All right. We'll talk later.
See you later.
Bye. All right. So, yeah, cool. Good. That's the biggest. I've had over 17,000 live tonight. Smash that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't already. What are we up to for subs right now? We're up to 134,840. We're only 160 away. 160 away from 135,000. I guarantee you at least 160 of you out there haven't hit the subscribe button. It don't cost nothing, so go ahead and do that. Okay, why don't we read some turtle chats? If you want to have your messages read out loud to the class tonight, I'm going to go read them all now. You can click at the link at the top for turtle chat. We'll talk about some of Dr. Rentschler's testimony and whatever. Okay, let's see. So let me just load some of these up. Okay. Hold on. Today's June 11th. And we got a bunch of these. All right. Today's the 11th, right? Okay, cool. All right. I tweeted both. This is from last night from Kyle. He said, I tweeted both your doctor and TV Daily News accounts on Twitter, the video of 𝗫𝗄𝗄. My handle is KMCC0331. Let me what happened in the 𝗫𝗄𝗄 video again? John 𝗫𝗄𝗄 went full free Karen Reed. Is that right? Whoa, even fake Plevin. Actually, I want to bring this up. Let's see. Okay, this is first I'll bring this up. I want to bring the 𝗫𝗄𝗄 tweet up.
It's a pleasure to be here. You know what was going to happen today. This is an incredible crowd. Thank you guys for being so cool. I'm addicted to this ride. I invited Karen Reed, but she doesn't see her. She coming? This is, I couldn't be more grateful. This July will be my 40th year having the honor of playing with the Beach Boys, and Michael has been so good for me. A big hand for 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗄, who wrote all these songs. Been around a while, and he's 84 years young.
Didn't Brian Wilson die today?
Barry's all of us on stage. If you knew somebody tonight that you love, tell them you love them, tell them you're proud of them, tell them that you're grateful for them, because tomorrow's never comes. So this next song is called Forever, and that's how long it should last. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, so he just talked about it at the beginning? I didn't even know John 𝗫𝗄𝗄 was a singer. I know Uncle Jesse, the character, was a musician, but I didn't know he was in real life. Okay, so that's all right. Thank you for sharing that. And the other thing I saw over here on the Twitter machine, where'd it go? This other guy. So Plevin has a fake account. Plevin created this anonymous lawyer account. And I know it's Plevin because he used to share it on his streams. And he'd be like, oh, so I read this excellent blog by anonymous lawyer. And it's like, bro, okay, you made a fucking Substack where you're pretending to be a lawyer and then you're the only person sharing it. It's fucking obviously 𝗵𝗲. So, but even 𝗵𝗲 today on his fake account says, I just saw this. This came up on my feed. He says, real talk. This was easily the defense's best day. It makes sense. They'd save their strongest witness for last. The impact will depend on whether the jury can sense his clear advocacy, whether 𝗬𝗈 can make some convincing points on rebuttal, and the strength of closing arguments. So this is even better now because after he tweeted this, they announced 𝗬𝗈's not coming back, bro. 𝗬𝗈's not coming back. He is throwing in the towel. Like to me, not calling 𝗬𝗈 back is a sign of a couple of things. Number one, he doesn't want to get ratted out by 𝗬𝗈 because 𝗬𝗈's going to be like, Hank didn't give me the x-rays. The x-ray thing is like a problem for Hank because I guarantee Hank is the one behind that, not 𝗬𝗈, right? If 𝗬𝗈 had seen an x-ray, he wouldn't lie about not seeing an x-ray. All right. So that's number one. And number two, he also realizes how unlikable 𝗬𝗈 is, especially after we just got through La Posada and the Crash Daddies. They are so likable with the jury, and they know that the judge's going to go up there and argue and be a fucking douchebag again, and it's just not going to work out. He doesn't have the facts on his side. He's working with an inferior hand. Hank Brennan threw in the goddamn towel today. He quit. He's done. Nobody wants Judd's load. No more load. No more spreading the load. Keep the load in your pants, Judd. Okay? Nobody wants your fucking load. It's disgusting. It's gross. Right? Get it out of my face. Out of here. Go throw it in a paper towel. All right? Get your load out of here, Judd. Nobody wants that shit. No, not after we heard, people want Dr. Wolf's load. They'll take his load all day long. Nobody wants Judd's load. Get out of here with your load, Judd. Get out of here. Go distribute it somewhere else. A fucking paper towel or a spare napkin or in your sink or something like that. Okay? Get it out of here. Your load. Anyway, so I think he just threw in the towel. Like not calling Judd back. That was a sign of surrender. That was a sign of weakness that he's given up, and there's nothing he can do about it. That's why you should be so confident, man. Come on. I know you have to have in the back of your head, like, what if something horrible goes wrong? What if? Just fuck what if. Fuck it. Fuck it. Karen Reed's getting freed, baby. It's ending. The real question you should be thinking about is, what am I going to do with all my spare time now? Like, that should be your biggest concern. After Karen Reed is free, the fuck am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do? Watch the Red Sox? What am I going to do? I can't watch Kohlberger? Well, that guy did it. I don't know. What am I going to do? Who am I going to free next? Donna Adelson? Fuck her. She can die in prison, that old bat. What am I going to do? Who am I going to free? How am I going to spend? What cause am I going to dedicate myself to? That should be your biggest worry right now, is what am I going to do with my fucking time? Like, what is boots on the ground going to do? Those poor people. Does North Shore Nacho Night end? What do we still do? Do we still meet on Mondays in Stoneham? What are we going to do? That should be your biggest concern right now, is what am I going to do with my time when this ends? Don't even think about anything else but that. That's and where's the party? I'm not going to plan a party. I will plan a party, but it's not going to be till after it's official. Okay. I'm not going to, because that's jinxing it. You can't do that. And people like Sandra Birchmore, the fuck do you want for? They already arrested him. That guy's fucked. We don't need to activate for Sandra Birchmore. We already did. I did, but not as much as Missy and them. Did I say Missy or Misty? I don't want to get that wrong. Mizzy. I apologize. It's like, there's not much, and the Enrique thing, I see people saying that. It's like, I've talked about Enrique before. I've heard rumors of a grand jury. I don't know what's going on with that. I've tried to get involved with the Enrique thing, but there is a language barrier with his family that I went over on my show, and it's just not working out. Mizzy, I apologize, Mizzy. She's been very active in that, so she's been great. I can't take credit at all for Sandra Birchmore. I had nothing to do with that. But anyway, but I'm so glad that he was arrested, but again, there's not much we can do about that. It's like, it's already been done. He's fucked. He's done. We got justice is going to come, and we don't need to you don't got to stand and dead in front of Legacy Place and demand justice for Sandra Birchmore, because she's going to get it. It took a while, but it's coming. Oh, and you know what about free Turtleboy? Your boy here, even with Karen's freedom, I still got charges. I'm still facing life in jail. Life in jail. Me. For what? Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, okay. So yeah, I think that, don't worry about it. We'll be good. And like fake Plevin's account says here, that was if they're saying that this was easily the best day and that was their strongest witness, that's a problem for them, because they never admit shit. They don't admit anything ever. And it was bad. Even remember Plevin thought Kelly Deaver was a disaster for the prosecution. He thought that real Plevin, I'm talking when he uses his real name. He thought that Nicholas Barros was a disaster, and they were, man. They were. It was a disaster. Okay. So anyway, back to the turtle chats. Jody sends $50. Thanks, Jody, and says, shoulders down, chin up. Don't ever let anyone victimize you. Stay boss. Time to end this BS. Absolutely. Colin sends $20 and says, thanks for all you do. Good luck in court today. I truly appreciate the content you put out and the lengths you go to uncover truth. My pleasure. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh Vargas, sends $10, goes, I doubted Brennan at the beginning, but he really cracked the case today. Dr. Rentschler ate a ham sandwich. I just wonder what Lally's face looked like when he learned the sandwiches could have had meat. Can I find the ham sandwich? I got to find the ham sandwich. I got to find that clip. If I search ham sandwich on Twitter, I bet you. I love Twitter. Hold on. They bribed him with the ham sandwich. This picture. This is too good. The ham sandwich. Is this it?
Eating your ham sandwich with the folks. How long were you at the table eating your ham sandwich with the folks there enjoying the event? How long do you think that went on for?
I honestly don't know. 10 minutes. How long does it take you to eat a ham sandwich? 10 minutes?
And after you finished your ham sandwich and then you told us you stood in the corner, you got a ride back to the airport?
I did, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's how you know you've lost the case, bro. When your gotcha moment is, tell me about the ham sandwich. You've lost. You've given up. This is a man who is going down with the ship. Here is the whole clip.
What do you mean independent?
Well, did you have any bias in you?
Any bias?
Bias, yes.
What do you mean? Did I have any bias?
After you testified, where did you go?
Well, I was waiting for my ride, and to get back to the airport, they had to take other people. And so they were having a lunch afterwards, and they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich.
Did you testify at some point that after you had something to eat, you just stood in the corner?
I did. I just sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich? Or did more go on?
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Certainly, I'm sure I did. So.
Did you laugh a lot?
I assume if something funny was said, I probably laughed.
Did you talk about your testimony?
At this point, I don't even remember.
Did you stay independent?
Oh, I can't. This is my first time hearing this. This is my first time hearing this. Oh my God. How Embarrassing. Lally never did anything like this. Oh my God. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. That what? Wow. Did they teach that one in law school? Is this the find out part or is this the fuck around part? I was told that we were fucking around and we were going to find out. That's what ghetto ass Note My Objection did with the hey, you know, she's hip. She's got her nails and she's hip and she sits on his stoop and she's like, yo, fuck around, find out. Fuck around, find out. Is that the find out? Did we find out there? Was the find out the ham sandwich? Was that we fucked around and we found out a ham sandwich was coming? That's what we found out. One more time. I have to play it one more time. That was the funniest shit I've ever heard.
What do you mean independent?
Well, did you have any bias for it?
Any bias?
Bias, yes.
What do you mean? Did I have any bias?
After you testified, where did you go?
Well, I was waiting for my ride, and to get back to the airport, they had to take other people. And so they were having a lunch afterwards, and they said, come have a sandwich, and then your ride will take you to the airport. So I went, and I had a ham sandwich.
Hank is letting the Twitter trolls control his prosecution here. We've seen it time and time again with the Lucky shit about, like, are you bullied by the witness intimidator? Turtleboy is bad, right? And because the trolls have shared this picture of Minion Mike, of all people, with, like, I don't even know who's in the foreground. I think it's Alan Jackson or one of the attorneys. And in the background, you see him with the ham sandwich and Bill Reed. And he apparently was waiting to go to the airport and he got hungry. And he was offered food. And you know what he said? He said, I will eat that food. The entire ham sandwich, the whole thing. And I have a confession to make, guys. I have a confession to make. So believe it or not. So as you guys know, my mother passed away 2 days before the mistrial was declared last year on a Saturday. And I didn't really tell that many people because I didn't want a million people being like, oh, I'm sorry about your mom, blah, 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 on July 1st. Okay. And so I was down there and I told, I brought it up. I mentioned it briefly to Kelly Reed that, it happened 2 days ago. And I asked her not to tell anyone. And she told Karen, and I was invited as a result into the room where they were all at. Okay. And, they all, Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, Elizabeth Little, and of course, Karen and her family, they were very nice to me. They all invited me in and they hugged me. And I said, I'm really sorry about your mother and all this stuff. And it was very nice. Okay. But now it's confession time. After that, I too was offered and accepted a ham sandwich. I also had the ham sandwich, although I think he's being a little dishonest there. There was other meats on the sandwich. I think it was a full-on Italian, like it was an Italian. I think there was some salami on it as well. A little bit of lettuce, and there might have even been some mayo. I'm just saying. I think he's there were chips. There were also chips. And I think there might have been little mini brownies as well. I ate all of it. I ate fucking everything in there. I didn't give a shit. I was hungry as fuck. And I ate it. I ate whatever I wanted to eat. So I too partook in the ham sandwich.
Had a ham sandwich. Did you testify at some point that after you had something to eat, you just stood in the corner?
I did. I just sat at a table, ate, and then went over and literally stood in the corner waiting for my ride.
And I got a picture of him. He kind of is in the corner with Bill Reed in the picture. And he just talks to Bill Reed. Oh, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. So, tell me about your company. What do you do for work? Oh, cool. All right. Well, I'm out of here. Good luck. Hope you get acquittal. Good luck.
When you sat at the table and eat, did you just eat your ham sandwich? Or did more go on?
I just can't. Did the more go on? Well, first came the ham sandwich, and then came the hand jobs. That's when we all just started jerking each other off, Spanky. We all just reached into each other. No, actually, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. As fate would have it, David Yannetti reached into my pants and said, "Thank you for the testimony. Now I'm going to jack you off until you come." Okay. That's what I'm going to do. That's what else happened. Okay. Yeah. Wait. Was there anything else besides the ham sandwich? Tell me about the ham sandwich. This is like the banana and the tailpipe shit. Like, it's like, just like out of Beverly Hills Cop. Banana and tailpipe. Was there a ham sandwich? Was there a ham sandwich? Tell me about the ham sandwich. Like, this can't be real.
I ate. People were talking. I really didn't talk much at all.
Did you listen?
Did you listen? Did you listen? No, I just went like this. No. I don't want to hear anything. Give me my ham sandwich and get me into the airport. I'm out of here. Oh, this fucking guy.
Certainly, I'm sure I did, sir.
Did you laugh a lot?
I assume if something funny was said, I probably.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna laugh a lot later, because when I watch this shit on Turtleboy, this shit is gonna be fucking funny. And Dr. Turtleboy introduced himself to me yesterday in the hallway. And I did my doctor routine with them. Dr. Wolf didn't think it was very funny. Dr. Wolf, in his fairness, is really sensitive to this shit because his family got doxxed last time for even doing anything but professional. The poor guy walked to fucking Dedham House of Pizza by himself. It was the loneliest walk I've ever seen in my life. This guy didn't get put through that treatment, and neither did Dr. 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗂. So I introduced myself to Dr. 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗂 in the basement, and I'm like, "Hi, Dr. 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗂. I'm Dr. Turtleboy." And she's like, "Oh." She goes, "I've heard of you." That's all she said. And I'm like, "Well, I'm a doctor of journalism, one doctor to another." And then I introduced him in the hallway. I'm like, "Doctor," I go, "Dr. Rentschler, my name's Aidan Kearney. Nice to meet you." He goes, "Oh, hi, Eden." He called me Eden. And I'm like, I didn't want to correct him. So I just said, "You can call me Dr. Turtleboy." He's like, oh, yeah. He said this, he kind of, his eyes lit up like, "Oh yeah. Oh, Turtleboy. Right. Dr. Turtleboy." So that's what doctors do when they introduce them. It's like you wouldn't understand if you're not a doctor, you wouldn't understand. We just kind of have it's a club, and when you're in the club, we just connect in different ways. You wouldn't understand unless you were a doctor. Okay.
Did you talk about your testimony?
At this point, I don't even remember.
That was just stuff in my face, motherfucker, because that ham sandwich, I could go for one right now. I could totally go for one right now. Okay. Let me read some more turtle chats here. All right. Allie sends $25 and goes, "Listen, Turtle, my mom, Wendy, who watches you every night, turns 61 today. I'd love it if you could give her a happy birthday shout out." Happy birthday, Wendy, Mom Wendy. We love you. Great to hear that you had another year around the sun successful. Good job. Thank you. She said, "We both hope you and Karen get the vindication you deserve. Don't ever give up the good fight. Happy birthday, Wendy." And happy birthday, Kai. And happy birthday to Dr. Rentschler's 10-year-old son. I have a 10-year-old daughter. Maybe they can be betrothed. I would love to be wedded into the Dr. Rentschler family. That would be so cool. If him and I were like mutual fathers-in-law, like that, let's make it happen. I mean, I don't want, free will and, you get to pick your spouse or whatever. Let's go old school. Let's make our kids get married. You want to do that? Happy birthday. Happy 10-year-old birthday to your lovely son there, Dr. Rentschler. And don't worry about Auntie Bev. She was being real kind. She got so mad about that. That's inappropriate. Bitch, did you see when Judd Welcher introduced himself to Bob Alessi? Like, all of a sudden there's rules and decorum in this fucking courtroom. Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, back to this. Yeah, Bev hates children. I'm with you. Yeah, she's betrothed. Like, you guys are going to get married. Sorry, I got to tell my daughter this tomorrow. So there's this guy named Dr. Rentschler. He's got a 10-year-old son. You never met him before. They live in Pennsylvania. You're going to marry him, actually. And just so I can say that you know, you can call him Crash Daddy-in-law. He can be the Crash Daddy-in-law. There you go. You're going to love him. You're going to love him. He's the best father-in-law ever. All right, next up. Amber sends $100 and goes, free Karen Reed and Turtleboy. Shout out to my mom, Trendy Wendy, who is now a dedicated Australian turtle rider. I've never seen so many fucking good fucking food groups covered in a murder trial. A chicken sandwich, the 𝗬𝗂𝗍 HIDE burger, the 𝗬𝗂𝗍 HIDE pepperoni pizza, 𝗬𝗂𝗍 HIDE waffles, 𝗬𝗂𝗍 HIDE tofu. No, that was the La Posada tofu. Spanky ham sandwich, Spanky PB&J, and the Jennifer McCabe, what in the actual fuck? All right, excellent. Thank you, Amber, and happy birthday. Or was that a happy birthday? No, it was just a shout out. Jenna sends $10, goes, glad to see your trial is going well. RIP to Purple Kool-Aid Drinkers Twitter account. Bro, I heard they got rid of Purple Kool-Aid Drinker at NFL Analyst. He was great. Love that guy's spaces. He's got to come back. Come back. I don't know what he says he doesn't hold back at all on Twitter. So maybe he got reported. Maybe he said something offensive, but you should be allowed to say offensive things on social media. So we need him back. He's a great voice for Karen Reed. Thank you. Sally Port sends $10, goes, thanks, Dr. Turtleboy. Ham sandwiches for all. All right. Thank you. Joanne sends $5 and goes, Turtle Day 1. Thank you for the framed license plate shirt. I'll wait for the freed shirt to follow. If wishes were dreams, Judge Minestrone would be publicly yanked from that bench, and Hanky, the Christmas poo, would get a punch in the mouth on the court stairs. Okay, thank you. Lena sends $5, goes, listen, Turtle, hi from the UK. It is right that Spanky tried to put your blog. Is it right that he tried to put your blog in evidence? He did. If he did, he's crazy. He did. And now they'll read about how corrupt this case is. Exactly. That's a good point. I hope they read the whole thing. I hope they read the whole fucking blog about Lucky and everything. I really hope they read that. That'd be dope. So thank you. Next up, you're an inspiration. Thanks for everything. God bless you, Daddy. Well, thank you very much. Karina sends $25, goes, thanks for shouting out my nephew's birthday today. It made his day. Great to meet you today, and good luck tomorrow. A lot of people's birthdays are today, huh? Well, thank you. The woman who called me Daddy today, it was her birthday today. I guess today as well. I guess June 11th is just a popular birthday. So thank you for that one. Pam sends $25 and goes, love you, Aidan. Thanks for all you've done and all you do and all you've sacrificed forever in your quarter. She's another Holdenite. So thank you very much, Pam. I appreciate that. Brian sends $50 and goes, I've been lurking. It's time to up the ante before the Karen Reed acquittal. I criticized mass cops. I caught BS witness intimidation charges and 5 months for a Facebook post, $100,000 bail. I get it. I want to see your movie, my case number. And then he sends me that. I'll check it out later. Well, thank you very much, Brian. Sorry you're dealing with that. Jennifer sends $10, goes, first words between Dr. Wolf and Dr. Rentschler today after the sequestration order was done. What a fucking dickhead. Would have loved to hear it. Thank you, Doc, for all you do. I think Brandy Churchwell tweeted something like that, and it's so true. I'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear the first conversation between those two men when this is over. And you know it's about Spanky. Like, what a fucking douchebag that guy is. Oh, my God. Hank is retarded, sends $10, goes, after the not guilty, I can't wait for the defense to go on a shit-talking world tour. Turtleboy for Pulitzer. P.S. Where is Mello? I need to see a doctor's note. I know. He was at my bail revocation hearing on Zoom. Healthy enough for that, coincidentally. So we'll see. Matty Mo, my guy Matty Mo, sends $10 and goes, I wonder how long it took Hank to eat the ham sandwich that's in Mike Morrissey's pants. He ate it quickly. Dr. Rentschler owned Hank today, and we saw the first ever dry humping on live TV. Free Karen Reed. Yes, we did. Thank you, Matty Mo. Me sends $10, goes, who was sitting next to John O'Keefe's mom? I've never seen her before. Someone trying to sway the jury. I didn't watch, so I can't comment. Anna sends $10, goes, the love of my life, Tim, texted me and said you were on. breaking rules at work and have you in my ear. LOL. Love it. Love it. Good girl. Cherie sends $10, goes, just catching up on yesterday. I would love to go tomorrow on my day off for support. Plus, I need a distraction. I live in Leicester, not next to Worcester. No, next to Worcester. Of course, I know Leicester. It used to be my Walmart when I lived in Webster Square. If anyone is in the area who's driving to Canton, let me know. You can email me at srcworm@gmail.com. Okay. Hope to see you there tomorrow. Cheryl sends $15 and goes, if you're going to come to court, please be respectful. Stay on the sidewalk. No yelling, whistling, and my personal favorite, no stealing selfies. How do you steal a selfie? P.S. Thanks for taking a pic with the best plate in Massachusetts. Yeah, you know what? I guess the troopers today were like, if you yell at Karen Reed or you cheer for her on the way out, we're going to bust you guys. And it was a really cool. Do we have the video of this? It's got to be on Facebook or something. The video of, I witnessed it myself. It was just silent. When Karen Reed came out, there's a mob of like 100 people there, and everybody just did this. That's like the Karen Reed sign. Just did this and to her in silence. And it was a really powerful moment, actually. And the media caught it. And it was really cool. So let me see if I can find this. All right. Oh, I met this kid. I mean, there was so many cool people down there today. Let me get out of this. Met these people there today. Let's see. This kid, nice kid. Levi was his name. Nice kid. That was Karen coming. Oh, there we are. Isn't that cute? Isn't that just the cutest? Whoa, that scared me.
Ready? No, it worked because I had to.
All right, so that was nice. Tons of pics. I took a lot of pictures today. I want to see when they leave. Is this it? So this is it. Watch this. They've been advised, like, they were advised not to talk. It was just silence. But it was very appreciative. You know? It was very, but then she did the symbol to the crowd. That was very cool. Look at Spanky getting his. Spanky doesn't have anyone cheering for him on the way out. Judd Welcher Blue Man Group. But what happens when I spread my load? JFK. I met JFK today. I had the honor and the privilege of meeting the man himself. The man, the myth, the legend from 39,000 feet in the air. It was really cool seeing him there. The vibes are good down there, man. The vibes are good. And we're ready. And we're ready. Okay. What else we got going on here? All right. I want to see if there's a better video of the whole exit scene, which was just very cool. There they are. I don't know if anyone has a video of it, a good video. It was a really powerful thing. I don't know if anyone in the media has posted it. It'd be really cool to show it. But yeah. Okay. I haven't been on this page much. I've had no time to do fucking anything lately at all. But okay. Yeah, so I'm still reading donos. Let me read some more. Canoni's Krusty Clam sends $20 goes, I hope you and Meredith enjoyed the lunch I treated you today. Since the jury will not be in Dedham tomorrow, will we be able to stand? Oh, that was you. Thank you very much. That was, yeah. 2 people offered to buy me lunch today. And I got to take the first offer. So I really appreciate that. It was very kind of you. I had a tuna melt at the Dedham. What's it called? The Grateful Dedham Diner. It's really nice. I love that place. Great people there. We'll be able to stand on the Superior Court steps on the sidewalk tomorrow. Yeah, I suppose you could. Thanks for everything. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it counts as the trial still. So thank you very much for that one. But you might be able to get down there and do that. So cool. Great seeing you today. Kelly, if Chloe bit, you must have quit since $25 and says, I still think they should say fuck it and call Proctor. A little late for that. Why even have the off chance a juror is still stuck? It's her life. Slam it in their face. Close loose ends. Yeah, but what if he like convinces them that, yeah, I'm a piece of shit, but the investigation was really good and she did it. You know, why give him a chance to say that? Close loose ends, impeachment. Right. We'll see. We'll see. Do it. I think you're going to see something powerful in closing about Michael Proctor from Alan Jackson. His closing is going to be must-see TV, and I can't wait to be in the courtroom for that, baby. I can't wait. Heather Dawson sends $25, goes, throw him in and let him fuck. That's exactly what we need to do. Just take, okay, 12 of you. We're going to pick the 6 alternates. Now you 12, get in there and fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. And don't come out till you have an acquittal. Thank you. Mike sends $25 and goes, it's a long one. Too bad AJ won't be getting a final run at Judd the Pud. I would have loved to hear those as the last 5 cross questions. I can't read 5 questions. I can't do it. Can't do it. But are you aware the cost range for the vehicle pedestrian accident reconstruction is $6,000 to $5,000, $50,000? What grade did you receive in kindergarten face painting class? Okay. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the $25. Kimberly sends $10, goes, Dr. T, explain why a juror would need a lawyer, please. Well, just, I wrote a story about it, and I told the juror I wouldn't bring it up and talk about it with her on there. Read about why. I wrote a whole story on why this juror was dismissed, and there's a whole story there, and it's like, it gets complicated. And there's some shit that was personal that she didn't want coming out. And she's also been threatened by Plevin and others. So, you know, not cool. Not cool. All right, next up. Another masshole sends $20, goes, this case showed the world what you've been writing about for years. Corrupt Dems and their buddies abusing their power. One party rule is always dangerous. Indeed. Barrett Roller sends $10, goes, hey, Dr. Uncle Turtleboy, it's my mom's birthday. Her name is Karen. Dad is also a big-time FKR. Well, happy birthday, Karen. All right. The ghost of Brian Higgins' SIM card sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, do you know if the defense is going to demand to verify the juror selection, ball selection? I haven't heard about it come up yet. Yes, they definitely will. Count on that this time around. Count on that. Nicole sends $5, goes, question for juror 3 during the view of 34 Fairview. What did you focus on? I think we answered that during the interview. So thank you very much, Nicole. The ghost of Brian Higgins' SIM card also sends questions for the juror. Says, do you know why the deliberating jurors thought her defense was a distraction? Well, how the fuck would she know that? Were the jurors just not educated? And is the bigger jury text chain still alive? Well, she's not in it because she was an alternate. So thank you. Tracy sends $10, goes, Karen will finally be able to grieve the loss of John after this is over. She'll be able to do a lot when this is over. So you're absolutely, breathe is one thing. Cheryl sends $5, goes, 2 small black FKR signs left where we greeted the team this morning. I put them in Scott's truck. Okay, thank you. Julie sends $10, goes, from Canoni's Baloney. Hi, Turtleboy. Are you concerned about juror 1, who will presumably be the 4-person not taking notes? Were they one of the jurors that switched seats? Hoping you and Karen are freed suit. No, I mean, I'm not that worried. I mean, I can't get a read on that guy. He's this black dude who doesn't give a fuck. I don't know how else to explain the dude. He looks mad chill. Like when I wanted him to get picked. He was the only juror I saw getting picked during the juror deliberations. And he was the first juror that was chosen. That's why he's in seat number 1. They're in the order that they were picked. So he was picked, and I think he's good. You know, I think he's good. I can't get a read on him at all. But again, I don't know anything about these people, but I just can't imagine. I look at that dude, I'm like, that dude ain't gonna send someone to jail for bullshit. You know, not gonna happen. Next up. Here, let me refresh this. Turtle chats. All right. Allison sends $5 and goes, when do you think Hank and Welcher learned about the x-rays? I think Hank has known about the x-rays the whole time. I think Welcher might still not know about them. We'll find out. I don't know. I think Hank hit it. I think Hank's lying. Allie sends $10, goes, I can't wait for Karen Reed to be acquitted, but also I'm going to miss our 9 p.m. gatherings. I still do a show. I'm still doing a show when this is over, so stick around. Also, what's going on with John O'Keefe's dad? Do we know if he's officially questioning the townies or just over court? He was never really been around to begin with. He didn't really come around last trial that much. There's a lot of rumors. He might be, Sean on the golf told us that he was going to sit with Karen Reed's family. That was a lie. But yeah. Next up, Joe Fliphead sends $50 and said, where is M. William Phelps? Can we give him a call? He deserves a public shaming. Oh, he'll get it real. We're going to shame his ass good. Dude, we're going to shame so many people when this is done. Kofin Doofus, Jennifer, plastics, Botox lady on fucking Julie Grant. We're going down the list. The shame. Let the shaming begin. Let the shaming begin. Lisa sends $25, goes, jury tampering. Will defense ask to see the balls before and after the alternates are picked? I think they will. Lori sends $25 and goes, so sorry for the loss of your mom. Sending you hugs and prayers. Well, thank you. It was almost a year ago. So, we've had all the time to, but 1 year anniversary, my sister is getting married. I just had one sister married a couple months ago, another one married in a couple weeks. And yeah, so it's obviously hard for them. It sucks for them that it's not fair that I had to have my mother at my wedding and they don't. That's when those are the days it really hits you. Those are the days that it really hits you. Weddings, birth of children, bad things happen in your life when you need someone to talk to, and mom used to always be there. Those are the days, when you miss your mom the most. Anybody out there who, I'm sure a lot of people watching right now lost their mom. Everybody dies, everybody dies. And so those are the days that you really miss the mom the most on those, those important days, So, all right, cool. Thank you for the condolences, though. I appreciate that. Next up, Sarah sends $10, goes, my mom works at a library on the Cape. She says all the retirees come in and talk about the case and that they're hooked. Free Karen Reed and free Turtleboy. Yes. Like and subscribe. That's all I ask. Thank you very much. Liz sends $20 and goes, you are the reason for this whole movement. Thank you. Keep on being an outstanding journalist. A lot of people say that sometimes they're like, you're the reason Karen Reed's not in jail. I'm not. But I am the reason that Karen Reed can afford ARCA and Dr. La Posada and Matthew DeSogra. I will give myself some credit for that. And I'm the reason that she can afford to have all of her attorneys stay at a hotel and war room and game plan. They're able to put on this defense because of the money. That's how they were able to do this, because of the money. I didn't give them $1 million, right? I don't even know if I gave them any money. I think I donated once, right? I didn't have to. I created the movement that got people fired up to donate their money. That was my contribution to this, is starting the movement. So I am not the reason that Karen Reed is not in jail. Karen Reed is the reason that she's not in jail, and this shitty investigation is. That's why. But I am the reason, I think, that she is able to put on a world class, to afford to be able to put on a world class defense that she deserves, that everyone deserves. And Bob Motta had a great rant today on his show about how all defendants deserve the defense that Karen Reed got. All guilty, not guilty. Because if you're guilty and you have, I don't give a shit. If Karen Reed was guilty, she could spend all the money in the world. She could have all the shit. She's still getting convicted, period. Right? So, but everybody deserves to have the kind of experts that Karen Reed had. Everyone. ARCA's not going to do you any good if she hit John. If she actually hit John with her car, and the injuries align with that, then what the fuck good is ARCA going to do her? Nothing. Nothing. If John actually died from hypothermia because he was on that lawn for 6 hours, then what the fuck good is Dr. 𝗲𝗂𝗧𝗏 going to do for her? Nothing. Nothing. So every innocent and guilty client deserves the kind of, defense that Karen got. And I think that she is going to spend the rest of her life dedicating herself to that. And I think I would like to do that as well. But again, it's hard to find cases like Karen Read because most of the time the defendants are guilty. Often they are. Often they did it. It's very hard to find cases that are so obviously corrupt and flawed like this one. And that's why we got also, it's not people like, oh, it's because she's a white woman and attractive. That ain't why. That's a coincidence. That's a coincidence. Sometimes I wish Karen Read was black because it would be a lot fucking easier. I'd be like, yeah, you can't say shit. You wouldn't be able to throw that card in my face that I'm only doing this because she's an attractive white woman. Sometimes I wish she was a fat black chick, right? Because then you could be like, what now, motherfucker? What now? Huh? I'm doing this because I'm trying to bang her? What? Because I just have a thing for fat black chicks? Is that what you're saying? No, I'm doing this because Karen Read's innocent, period. And the facts show that. That's why I got behind this shit. Period. Anyway, back to this. Wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Next up. 𝗵𝗄𝗄𝗏 sends $10, goes, I can see 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃 eating PB&J, but only with the crusts cut off. I could see that too. He's never been invited to eat a ham sandwich. That's why he's all salty. Nick sends $10, goes, do you think Peggy O'Keefe had an African-American woman with her toady to butter up the African-American people on the jury? No, that woman's like a cop. That woman drives them into work sometimes. That woman's like, I don't know what she does. She's shady, that woman. Watch out for her. She sucks, that lady. All right, next up. Jody sends $5 and goes, I just need you to do your facial impressions of Judd the Thud before the live ends and free Karen Read and Turtleboy, free ham Sammys. Like, what, my impression of Judd? No, let me tell you. No. Let me get the calculator. Can I use my calculator? Okay. Wow. Judd the Chud. That guy needs to chill. Judd the Chud. All right, next up. Lori. No, I already read that one. Okay. All right, let me refresh the turtle chats here. Mike from the North End sends $5, goes, what is your trust level in 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and that slut Rafferty saying the FBI investigation is over? I believe they were told that. And I do believe that the FBI investigation is hit a dead end. I don't believe they have enough to indict anyone. They probably could have indicted someone for something like perjury or something like that, but they're just lazy. That's all I think it comes down to. They're just like, yeah, they know what happened. They're not stupid. Josh Levy knows that Karen Read didn't do this, but I do think it's the new administration. I do think it's Leah Foley just looking at this case and being like, yeah, I'm not gonna. There's probably something there, but we go for convictions here. That's what we go for. And we don't think they have enough to convict. So I think that's what happened. Amanda sends $20 and goes, hi, Doc. I don't know if you saw this, but Kendra from Texas got it on a live video. Hank bent down coming out of court today to read my suit. But what happens if I spread my load? Shook his head and walked away. It's gold. Allison has it. Oh, you send it over. Oh, was that you, Amanda H., the one that was harassed by Bukaki? That was you in the blue suit? I didn't realize that. Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, Anna Young's LinkedIn. Someone just posted. Let me see this. Oh, yeah, she sucks. That's her. Ew. Gross. Yeah, she sucks. She's horrible. She's only been working there 10 months. Before that, she was a public information officer. That sounds Orwellian. For the Westchester County DA's office. She worked for a DA's office. She was a propagandist for a DA's office. And now it all makes sense, doesn't it? Now it all makes sense. Okay, so thank you for that one. Okay, one more refresh of that before we read some cash apps. Mike sends $50 and he sends me a YouTube link and he goes, worth the 20 seconds. So I will, if it's only, I can do 20 seconds.
Your ham sandwich?
Is there another kind?
Dr. Rentschler, you wrote a report back in February 2024. Did you see any evidence that Mr. O'Keefe had a ham sandwich outside of 34 Fairview Road?
Now, are these really the questions that I was called here to answer? Phone calls?
Laminated glass and its ability to cut the skin.
Please tell me that their lawyer hasn't pinned their hopes to
a ham sandwich.
All right. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, dude. And thanks for the dono. All right, next up, Stan sends $10, goes, a local pub needs to invent a ham sandwich and name it the Rentschler. Oh, yes. And it's got a nice ring to it. The Rentschler. The Rentschler sub. Give it to me straight, Doc. Give me the Rentschler regular. Thank you for that. I like that one. Okay, let me read some cash apps here. All right, Naomi sends $5 and goes, I sent you Anna Young's Twitter link to your Facebook. Okay, I heard it's private though, so thank you. Carter sends $5, goes, I fly in from Washington on Friday. Is that crazy? Not at all. Just get there in time. You might be there for history. Dude, I met some Canucks for Karen yesterday. I met more Utah Utes today. I met a couple Utes, 2 Utes, as a matter of fact. There were 2 Utes I met on the top of the Registry of Deeds stairs today. It was dope, man. People are coming from all over. Connecticut even. Oh, distant Connecticut. New Hampshire. All over the place. People are coming in from. So thank you for that. Just a Tune LLC sends $20, goes, rumor someone did birthday shout out on Stan today. It wasn't a rumor. That happened. Larisha sends $25 and she goes, sent you an email. Okay, well, I'll have to check out my email later. I don't have my email queued up right now, but I'll have to check that later. Thank you, Larisha. Carter sends $5, goes, free Karen Reed and free Turtleboy. Thanks for starting this movement, brother. My pleasure. It's been an honor of a lifetime being the leader of something called Free Karen Reed. It, whenever I hear people say it, I'm like, yeah, I did that. That's pretty fucking cool. Proud of that. Thank you. Ashley sends $10 and goes, I like a good ham sandwich, but give me honey ham. I like Black Forest, actually. It's a lot of people don't know about that. So thank you. Or brown sugar. Tasting Vanity sends $5. Thank you. Chad sends $5 and goes, what an emotional roller coaster. Free Karen Reed. Okay, well, thank you. I agree. Christina sends $5, goes, protest Bev and change the mass judicial system. All right. Aaron sends $5, goes, that Weed Whacker song is hot. Yes, thank you. That's an anti-deb. I can't take credit for that at all because it's fucking hilarious. Naomi sends $5 and goes, oh, I already read the one. Jason sends $5 and goes, what does Juror 3 think of the blue paint versus Arca? I know, dude. He owned them today. I wish I had more time to go over all his testimony. It was just, but you guys have already probably consumed it in a million ways. It was fucking awesome. Fuck Judd Welcher. His ass got exposed. Dunsky. All right, next up, Eric sends $5 and goes, D not calling Brian's a mistake or Proctor? No, I don't think it is. I think you'll feel better when you get that acquittal. Stephanie sends $10 and goes, young dreams Young Jerks streamed your case today. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I missed it. I'll have to go check it out. Ryan, but I heard the audio sucked with the Zoom. We'll see. Ryan sends $10, goes, happy birthday, Kai. Sorry, Bev ruined your day. Okay, thank you. Happy birthday, Kai. Nicole sends $5 and says the Young Jerks streamed it. Okay, we'll have to listen to that. Mama She sends $60. Thanks, Mama She, and says free Karen and free Dr. Daddy. Well, thank you very much, Mama She. Okay, and Pina Rosa sends $10, goes, Wrenchler body slamming Hank. Yes, he did. All up and down that courtroom, didn't he? Yes, he did, mofo. Do we have any more here? Okay, we're good. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night then. Good fucking show. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview with juror number 3. And I hope to see some of you guys at my trial tomorrow. Give me not guilty for your boy. That's what we need tomorrow. A not guilty verdict. That's what we need. I'll be, I had to tell the babysitter, I'm like, clear your schedule because I am going to be in Dedham a lot. Usually she either gets the kids on the bus. I'm like, I'm going to need both. And I don't know when I'm coming back. Tomorrow I'm going to get them on the bus. And it's like I'm going off to, daddy's going away for work for a bit. It happens sometimes. Going away for work. I'll be back. I'll see. You'll stay at my house Friday night. We'll, whatever. So I'll see it over the weekend. We'll be good, right? And once this is over, all daddy all the time. We'll do lots of fun shit and projects and arts and crafts, soccer in the backyard. We'll have all types of fun. But for now, we got this really important thing that's also going to put you guys through college. It's called Free Karen Read. So let's do this. We got to do this first. So thank you for that. What else was I going to say? I forgot what I was saying before that. Was I saying anything before that? I don't remember. Oh yeah. So my schedule. So because Friday, I'm like, here's the thing about getting bus coverage now with the babysitter. It's like, okay, I need your Friday morning because that's going to be opening statements. It got to be at the courthouse. But then I need your Friday afternoon because there might be a verdict. I can't just go home, right? I can't just go home. What if I miss the fucking verdict? I can't do that. So I have to literally clear my schedule forever or until for a few more days, So I'll be there. And I don't see any blue people showing up, by the way. Where are they at? Where's the Justice for JJ people? Where are they at? I don't see them. So anyway, guys, we're out of here. We'll see all you fine people for Sex Cult tomorrow night. And I hope to see some of you in court for my trial tomorrow. All right? Peace to you, bum grease.
It calls for data including calendars, alerts, reminders, notes, text messages, pictures, or videos from April 1st, 2023 through and including October 5th, 2023. 7 months